All right. So this is Hidden Heavens Campaign 6, Session 10. We just hit the double the digits, guys. It's great. Now
Oh
we
yeah,
probably should be at like Session 15, but I mean things happen. Uh happen a lot.
we're on our
So,
way there.
yeah. Okay, so here is the recap. Damn it, Wolf. The author wakes up with a start, his bespectacled eyes covered over the gloss of old age. He had nodded off, apparently. The fire still raged in the hearth, thankfully warming his thin bones. The silver mirror upon his table reflected his face when he grabbed it, causing him to slip once more into memory. He smiled faintly and picked up his golden quill once more. He did not need to sand the previous pages. His nap had done that just for him. He proceeded to write an awkward and unawakened lullaby. See, this is why I don't read this shit. A village stuck between time but not between places. A voice echoed through the beyond, giving vision to what was once blind. Milky white, like a galaxy, a price paid for wounds cleansed, fairly bargained away, undoing what had been truly done. An arm regrown, that was the smallest bit. The corpses of villains could not repay the purchase. A box, seized from the heavens, he who had pierced it trapped in an open cage. Villainy, it was such a funny word to one who could see the future of the past, like embers in the sun of a dying flame. He supposed he would have to remember eventually. The metals in the room, the sealing chamber, well, he would check on that later. But for now, he looked upon the world through the window while seated. A rock from a tale of a woman bending fate, to a spider's caress missing her mate, to a mate lost at sea of no voice, to the lidless stuck between a choice. To die every day is a curse, but to live forever is something even worse. To live forever, to be always from time severed, and to vex fate. Between the hall of clocks and the visitor at night, a golden deva in a sacred plight. To suppress the tendrils, that was her job, even when a miracle unleashes the dead mob. One appeared in black and red to demand manifestation, proof of God's blood. Betrayed, dismissed, shattered in a mirror, as the pools of magic swirl with sand, as twin souls are split, half and half in a band. A locked door in the center of the world, a statue of a man drowning in a pool. So it was written before, and shall be again, and so the author wrote, a script so fine, even while missing a day. And so he wrote, despite all his efforts, it was, so far, ending no other way. And yes, Zerwa, I will be putting that into Lore Drops. You don't have to ask.
Thank you. I was
Good
going
job,
to.
good job.
God damn it. Discord. Uh, Give me back my free Nitro Discord. I miss someone as someone who posts lore drops in Discord, not having Nitro is such a bitch.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Fucking what is it, 700 characters it feels like? I don't know. Alright. There we go. So who would like to do the player recap?
Someone's gonna have to because I don't know what the fuck happened since I last played.
Zero.
Yeah, I'm reading. Hold on.
Noah.
Sorry.
You're my last hope.
Oh, I thought Zero was just
Yeah,
like
I can do it. I'm
catching
just
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like Noah
sorry.
Wan Kenobi, you're my last hope.
No, no one can know me.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah. So,
I mean,
uh,
she's got the notes, dude. She's got the receipts.
I do. I do. Um, we attempted to descend a cliff by jumping and were promptly picked up midair by a rock. Uh, three of us managed to escape, but Braden was taken by Whitehaven cultists and shouted at us that there is a tower somewhere. So the rest of us land, set off in kind of back the direction we came toward where they were taking him. Um, Came upon a village with a view of, or we could see something out of place that was like the top of a tower and surrounded by or near water that was too dark. Came upon a village, met a old woman, Sister Ilara, who told us that she was Magda's sister, and uh, she seemed to like know about us, but also the town is like caught in a time loop, and at night apparently something eldritch and terrifying happens, and everybody comes out to kill each other and their tentacles and stuff. And we tried to leave the town, but when we walked away from it, we were actually walking back to it. And yeah.
On top of that, the town was located on like the edge of a crater, and inside that crater was like a large lake of dark water.
Right.
On top of that, there were a few other details to refresh your memory. Like the water seems to be really good for fertilization. It seems to make things grow rather fast and like unnaturally so. But you aren't sure the effect that happens. Also, you guys found in the bird that was running away, what happened is some people were riding the rocks and were chasing that bird as you guys were away. And what happened is they captured the bird, and Braden happened to get caught up in that, but not before he managed to get rid of the harness, including a bag that was on the rock itself. And inside there, you found a small sealed chest. And that chest also had various layers of protection, including several protective sigils. One of which it affected all of you. Everyone failed, and suddenly you have memory loss, and you appeared outside the village in a time loop.
And didn't we like just end like next to these trees that suspiciously grew? Something like that? Like there was like a specific tree that was like a
Yes,
sapling
what
or
it was
withered?
is like for example, that's what I was talking about. Is
Yeah.
outside previously there were a couple of small saplings, and now there
Mhm.
are full ash trees there.
Yes. Okay. And that's where we're currently at.
Yep.
Okay.
You can see it in the distance. And Braden is currently playing ball with a cracked rock.
Bug it, Weeble.
Everybody had a pet rock at one point.
Also, very sad. Only got one response there, Braden. And
I know,
tears.
yeah.
Pain in my ass. All right. What do you guys do?
It was starting to turn nighttime when everything started going crazy again, right? Like as we cut
Yep,
off.
and now it's early morning.
Okay, so it's back to the morning again as we're at the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you guys have not slept, so you have a level of exhaustion.
But
Does
okay.
this include Donson?
Donson appears in a burst of flame.
Oh,
You
welcome
sure
back.
missed a lot.
He is currently a goat.
Oh my god.
Oh, my
He's
bad.
the goat. The goat.
I should have said sheep, that we could get like a ba thing going on, but I came up with a pun after the fact. Low-hanging fruit.
And we are all still level 3.
Yes. Wait.
No, we
no,
leveled
we're
up to
level
4.
4. Yeah,
Oh,
we're level
yeah,
4
yeah. Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I
I'll
will
look you
do
guys up.
that.
Overnight, since we stayed up, and I would assume observed from afar, did we notice anything different, or could we see people going out slaughtering each other?
It is coming into it's the early morning. So it's basically you guys ran one direction and you came around kind of exactly where you were before when you first saw the village. Except now where those saplings were, now you can see actual trees.
Okay. Okay. I guess to start out, seeing this odd change in the trees, can I examine them a little bit closer?
You would have to walk into the village, but yeah, you could.
Oh, I thought we were like next to them.
No.
Okay.
It's like they're in a garden almost. They're apple trees.
Okay.
They're in like an orchard.
And is that, of everything in the village, is that the only thing that seems to have noticeably changed from restart to restart?
As far as you can tell from this distance, yeah.
Okay. Then, don't really know what's going on, but those trees seem different. From what I can tell, the only thing that's different. Maybe we should start there.
I guess it wouldn't hurt to get a closer look. I can't say I'm that excited about going back in there, but
Neither
now
do
we
I.
have new eyes on it. Kind of gesturing at Johnson. Maybe you can help us figure this out.
Okay, switching scenes. Brayden, you kind of like dozed off and you look up and like before you look up, you hear someone knocking.
I think so. This is probably the first contact since basically getting to the cell. How long has Braden been here since this knock's kind of come about? Does it feel like a couple of hours, like a day?
Easily 3 or 4 days.
Okay, I think hearing it, Braden's going to kind of like startle himself upright and kind of look towards the bird and kind of raise an eyebrow, and he'll kind of raise a finger to his lips and kind of a hushing motion to the bird, and he'll kind of clear his throat. He says, "Are you expecting an invitation?"
There is a door in midair.
Britain's going to kind of approach kind of cautiously towards it. Like, is it within grasp, or is it kind of like suspended quite high above?
It's like 2 feet off the ground.
Okay. I think Brayden's going to go to the door and just kind of reach a hand out towards it, and just try and like press his like the palm of his hand on the grain of the door.
It's clammy and almost wet and warm.
Well, there, bird friend. Talking to an animal is the first step of insanity. Going through a floating door's the next step, right? Kind of shoot at a kind of cautious smile, and is it like a door handle on the door?
Yeah, there is a
or...
door handle on the
Yep.
door.
I think Braden's just gonna reach towards the door handle, kind of wrap his fingers around it, and
It
open
opens.
Okay.
While your hand's on it.
Okay.
You see a small, almost naked gnome with a towel around him, and lots of misty air comes out of it, like steam. Sorry about that. I was taking a shower.
I hope it was a good shower, because I'm pretty sure I called out for you about 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh.
But
I left
don't
in my shower.
rush yourself on my accounts.
Yeah, I'll just use your bird to dry off real quick.
I probably wouldn't. Maybe you can dry off with some truth. Where the hell am I?
He looks up. I don't know. You called me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There were giant birds.
Oh.
I've been here for the last couple of days. I mean, the crest. These look. I haven't seen anyone for a couple of days. The crest that they were wearing. They were the same crests from back home. Do you know anything about that?
He lets out a long whistle. Have they been feeding you?
Look, it's been a long couple of days. My temper's short enough as is. Let's not stretch the stance on longer than it has to be, yeah?
Oh, jeez, yeah. He closes the door behind him and starts to waddle over to the bird. Nice bird. He fails his animal handling check.
Amazing.
The bird snaps at him and he's gonna say, all right, not a drying bird, I see. What can I do for you?
How about answering the questions I just asked?
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you know,
sorry. I have memory loss.
don't we all? Look, do you know where I am? Where this place is? What this place is?
It's fucking cold is what it is. He kind of like
Yeah,
wraps
no
himself
shit.
more in a towel and kind of just like waddles over it. He goes over to like the big hole and he kind of looks out and about and he says, and he looks down and he's gonna say, pretty high up. It's really fucking cold. Looks like a old tower. Could be a couple different places.
Okay, well, does this crest mean anything to you? And I think what Braden's going to try and do is kind of like drop down to one knee and just try. If it's like dirt on the floor, maybe just try and like draw an imitation of it or something along those lines while kind of describing it out loud. Does this mean anything to you? Have you seen this before?
Ah, cultists. Red Dragon in flight.
Red Dragonfly. Okay, well, there's not a lot of flying going on around here. Gesture towards the bird with the clipped wings. And I don't see a lot of dragons either. I haven't seen them for a couple of days. All I know, when we were traveling, I got split from the group. I was on the bird, and we got netted by a whole bunch of cultists, and they had this crest on them. Look, I've seen this crest before, a week ago, back when I was, I don't know, fucking alive, home.
Ah,
You clearly know the name. Do you know anything else?
well, given the symbol, either we're in Villafast or what's the name? Let me think. I'm bad with names. Never been good with names. Depends. You
Look-
see a village nearby? Villafast is mostly a wasteland. Doesn't really have.
No, I don't think so. I mean, we were traveling south to the free guild, freehold, free fucking.
Free harbor.
Oh, that's the one. We were traveling there. We were. I'm trying to think how far away we were. A couple of days north of there, maybe. Look, where we are on a map doesn't matter to me. I can't read the fucking map anyway. I just want to know why I've been thrown in here. I haven't seen anyone for days.
Ah,
What's going on? I've been calling out. Are there people in this fucking tower?
there might be. Hold on. He's gonna go back into the door, and you kind of hear some strange zoo-like noises. You hear an elephant yell, and he comes back out with his clothes. That's better. Tell you what, I can do you a bit of a favor. You have a couple choices. He zaps the door, the cell door, and it goes open. You can go down to the tower, take your luck, or he looks at the bird. I can fix the bird. In exchange, he waves his hand a little bit for a small consideration.
Speak your consideration.
Well, I need a favor. Allow me to cast a spell on you. You must consent, mind.
You're looking for consent. My, how things have changed in the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Well,
But I need for this particular spell, I need consent.
as
it
much
will
as I
not harm
believe in
you.
making. What about the bird?
Will not harm the bird.
Braden just kind of nods.
He takes
Says, well,
he takes 2 fingers and crosses his heart and says, "Cross my heart and hope to die."
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. He kind of shoots him a smirk and he says, kind of much as I believe making my own luck down this tower, and much as I'd love to brain some of these fools and get some answers, I'm not here alone. And he kind of looks over to the bird and kind of gives it a nod. He says, if you can help my friend here, maybe we can find our own way out.
Okay. By the way, I think all of your shit's in that bucket over there. He points to a chest. It is clearly a chest, not a bucket.
Does it appear like, is it like inside the room, or is it like?
It's on the outside. What he did is he snapped his fingers and like, you know, kind of like the fucking first Caribbean movie where they fucking just moved where he just used quote unquote leverage to like remove the wall of the jail cell. The whole cell is like falling. You can kind of hear some muffled yelling below you.
I think Braden is going to look towards the gnome and just kind of give a nod. He says, "All right, well, do what you need to do. Let's do it." And he's going to approach towards the chest, and I think before opening the chest, Brayden is going to kind of like kneel down just before it. Like the flooring of this tower we're in, is it like stone? Is it like dirt on it? Like
Stone.
what's
It's like dirty stone.
okay? Is it like conceivable to like okay? I think Brayden, before kind of opening the chest, is going to like take his index finger and kind of like put it to his tongue and then down to the dirt, and he's going to kind of draw like a large circle, and he's going to kind of etch in very haphazardly and crudely. He's not exactly what you would call light-handed. What looks to be like the crest or this holy symbol kind of on his pin. It looks a little bit kind of like a spearhead, but the actual arrowhead itself is kind of inverted into almost kind of like a V, and with a couple kind of like constellation dots with in the background of the circle. And Brayden's just gonna kind of say, he's gonna like etch the symbol below, and then below that, he's gonna kind of just write, "You're all marked," and then put a full stop, and then he's gonna kind of look towards it and kind of nod, and he's gonna kind of like take his forefinger back up to his lip and kind of like bite down a little bit hard and just kind of fleck a little bit of droplets by this little note, and then go to open his chest and hopefully retrieve his stuff.
Yep, all your stuff's in there. You have all your equipment. Takes a couple minutes for you two, and there is a heavy door that you can hear people coming in from below, and there's like a heavy door with like a wooden bar next to it.
A wooden what? Sorry,
A wooden bar. Like you could bar the door.
Is it so like so? Just to confirm, the bar is like on the inside of
Yep.
the room that Brayden's in. Okay, yeah. So like I think hearing that, so Brayden's going to kind of move up towards it and prep the bar against the door before returning back to his chest to grab his stuff.
It starts being if someone starts hitting it while you finish getting dressed.
I think Brayden's going to kind of call out, "If you don't stop, I'm going to hit you back." Just kind of like putting on some of the like securing some of the fastening things. I imagine he probably doesn't have enough time to put all of it on, so he's just kind of putting on like the staple pieces, and we'll kind of just like sling some of the others, in a bag or over his shoulder, kind of thing. Just in the interest of time. And while he's kind of doing that, he's gonna look over towards the gnome. How's it coming along there, buddy?
Hold out your hand. Palm up.
All right, and Brayden's gonna outstretch his left hand, palm up towards the gnome.
Okay. He's going to take a single index finger and place it in the center of your palm, and it's going to burn like a sun. And then there's a rune in your palm. It's like
Brayden's
scarring there.
Brayden's gonna kind of like cry out and then kind of like raise his right hand and kind of just like probably like bite down on the back of his palm, just trying to kind of like muffle some of the sound, take away some of the sensation. He's gonna kind of like flex his fingers, just kind of trying to like readjust the sensation in his palm, and he's gonna kind of peer down towards this I guess this scarring. And what the fuck is this?
Gaius.
Sorry, did you say this?
Gaius.
Gaius. Okay.
Gaius.
Gaius. I think Brayden's.
He has issued a magical command to you. You have willingly failed your saving throw.
Okay. I think Brayden's gonna kinda...
you're gonna hear instructions in your mind, and you
Okay.
are required to follow this instruction as soon as you are able to.
Okay.
And I'm going to DM you this instruction. It is your choice whether you wish to share it out of character or in character.
The next time he sees Belinda.
Brayden. So Brayden, like, hears that, and his eyes dart to the open kind of face of the tower, and it's like a proper moment of consideration of just kind of sprinting himself to there and jumping. And he kind of stops, and he kind of narrows his eyes, and he says, is this request coming from you or someone else?
He wags his finger. Answer's not included in the package. And he goes and he heals the bird.
Brayden is going to peer back down to the writing on the floor, and he'll take 2 steps back towards, kind of like lower his glaive, and he's just gonna kind of like slash twice at the symbol that he just kind of drew, like was quite proud of before, kind of just like blatantly kind of just like slashing, not like slashing it to pieces, but like ruining the etching on the floor. And he'll look to the bird and kind of look back to the gnome and kind of shoot him a glare, and all right, let's get the fuck out of here. One step at a time, yeah?
The rock is currently starting to stand up and flex its wings.
I think Brayden's going to kind of look towards it and kind of raise a hand out, and he'll kind of shrug and say, I don't know if someone was riding you last time. Cut the saddle. Maybe there's better luck for me.
The bird looks down at the ball and looks at you.
Brayden will kind of pick up the ball and kind of approach towards the bird. All right, buddy. Just like we both, I've totally been practicing for the last couple of days. Just
Animal handling with advantage.
All right.
DC of 12.
Just refreshing my character sheets, just being a little bit spazzy. Okay. A nat 20.
Hey.
I think as soon as Brayden kind of gets on the back of it, he's going to kind of like pause for a moment. And he kind of looks towards the gnome and he says, is he still in the room?
Yeah, he's about to walk through the door. By the way, when you're holding off the ball, the bird just kind of like swoops up behind you and kind of like goes underneath you and forces you on its back.
I think Brayden kind of looks down towards the bird and kind of tilts his head. He looks towards the gnome and he says, after this request, I might make one for my own. For someone or something next. I think we both know who it's probably going to be. And he's going to throw the ball off the tower, spurring the bird to go after it.
It does.
Alright.
Roll me a strength check.
Alright. Athletics or just
acrobatics or athletics?
Okay. 14.
You gracefully ride the bird.
Alright. Holding on for dear life. Probably quite a bit feeble. Yeah.
And the bird plunges down beneath the cloud line. And you see in the distance, there is a crater full of black water.
Oh,
With a sleepy little village irrigating from it.
Okay. Alright. I'm not sure how much control Brayden would have over the bird. I imagine there's no saddle or anything on the bird. It's just kind of like
Nope, no brakes either.
Bareback. Just kind of holding on to it and having faith in the bird that it'll work itself out.
Well, you can try to use a animal handling check to try to guide it if you want.
Yeah, look, if possible, I think probably going to the village is probably just the first place to maybe look for some kind of supplies, or at least ask people where the hell I am. Would probably be Brayden's thought process to it. So animal handling.
Yep.
Okay. 13.
Okay, you can point it in a general direction.
All right. Yeah, towards the village, and there we fly.
Okay. Caw-caw, back to the group.
Okay, so I suppose we're like kind of slowly approaching the village, just tentatively and filling in Donson on what all he missed.
By the way, well,
Okay,
I'm
let's
surprised
Go
you
find a
haven't.
goat.
I'm surprised you haven't listened to the session. Normally you do that.
I have not had a lot of free time.
Fair enough.
And any free time that I did have, I played with some of my friends, some Helldivers 2 or Pal World.
Fair enough.
Nice.
So
I heard both of those are good. Don't have either, but I heard they were good. All right. So, what do you guys do?
so Flaming Goat.
Well, Flaming Goat's hardly the strangest thing we've seen today. And we've made a loop to get back to the same place. So we're what? Stuck on the same day. If she didn't know us.
I mean, I guess it just keeps happening over and over. At least the day has seemed relatively safe so far, though.
So far. Listen, I've seen a lot of shit like those tentacles. It's never a good thing. Never. But I haven't ever seen it come along with any sort of, I don't know, magic like this. Some woo-woo weird shit that's got us trapped that we can't feel out or control. Like, I don't have anything to compare that to.
Possible they're not directly connected,
I guess.
though it does seem weird.
Well, that thing, whatever it is, it's connected to the water, right? And the water looks wrong.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
something.
Earlier, there was mention of funky trees.
Yeah.
That's
So
I think what we're walking to right now.
we are. The
Okay.
idea of that was that when we got here yesterday, they were like saplings. And now they're full grown trees just within a day.
And of everything, that's like the only thing that's changed between the cycles.
Okay, so
At least that we
on the
can
way
tell.
there, does Donson know? Can like I make like a nature roll or like a knowledge check or history check of like weird trees that
Survival.
grow overnight? Survival. That's
Be a
my best
druid.
one.
Wow.
I say that, but I rolled a 5, so that's 5 plus 7, 12.
Still pretty good.
The fruit looks unnaturally appetizing. There's something definitely magical about how they're being grown.
Flame Goat drops of like liquid fire drip from his mouth like drool.
You
He can't speak.
hungry?
Hmm.
He's eyeballing that
Um,
fruit awfully intensely.
Yeah, I'm gonna venture a guess that we probably shouldn't eat that.
Yeah. Maybe hold off. Just until we
Did-
figure out what's going on.
Did we all eat here?
I think on the first day, yeah, but I made sure not to last night.
Oh, well, you're smarter than I am. That's something. Hey, flaming goat friend, what'll it take to not be a goat anymore so you can talk to us? All right.
I don't know. I didn't use wild shape to become a goat, so that's on.
Oh, Christ. All right, well, he doesn't want to talk, so that's unhelpful. Great.
We'll probably hear a loud. "Bleh."
You hear drums in the village.
In the village.
Yep.
Have we ever heard those before?
Nope.
That's new.
That sure is new.
Should we check it out?
Feels foreboding, but if our only other option is to get back on the road, walk again, and get back to this place again, I guess. And it's something different, right?
Yeah. Worth looking into.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So the flaming goat will, in the dirt with one of his hooves, draw a straight horizontal line, and out of the line, some wavy lines, and then a question mark.
Does that resemble anything to me?
Good question.
This is
I mean, this
basically
is-
an elaborate charade. He's asking what you want to do.
Well, I want to get out of this. I want to get to that tower.
I think we're just trying to find clues right now.
He will then draw another horizontal line and then a rectangle coming out of the horizontal line, and then question mark.
This is like verbal charades.
Hold on. I'm literally about to get out a fucking piece
New
of paper
words.
and draw this shit.
I know. I'm
I
trying to
can
visualize
just
this.
stream Microsoft. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I get what he's drawing.
Okay.
Oh, okay, this is gonna be great. Hold on.
I want to see this. Yes.
So this is the first thing, right?
Hold on. I gotta actually get in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then
Yeah. Okay, got it. So I'll kneel down next to the flaming goat and very specifically not touch the flaming goat. I'm gonna point to the first one and say, "Are you asking about what we're talking about with the trees?"
shake his head.
No.
No.
Okay. Point to the second one. Are you asking about the tower?
Nods his head, yes.
Okay. Well, yes, we want to get to the tower, but we don't know how. If everywhere we walk just leads us back here. Theoretically, we know how to get into the tower if we can get there.
He will just do and then tilt his head to the side.
What's in the
about
tower? The tower's where they took Brayden.
As far as we know, at least.
The player saying, as far as we know.
He'll tap his hoof on these things.
Okay, well,
On
the
the-
tower's
on the
where
squiggly
Brayden
lines.
told us to go. How's that? Okay. Listen, I'm fucking shit at Pictionary, alright?
The drums
He'll,
get louder as you see a procession marching forward with 3 young women chained to posts on a cart. There are people carrying torches everywhere.
Okay. So that's not the kind of parade that you see in a friendly little sleepy town.
Definitely not.
Are they?
Ansen, make your save, by the way.
There's fire? You should have told me that.
Torches? I just did.
18, we're good.
Alright. Are they?
Fire rises from the goat, and you hear some kind of like sinister laughter and an echo as Donsen's form has returned.
Oh, good. Now you can ask us in person. Also, what happened to you?
I do not know. I was asking about the tentacles.
Got it. Yeah. So, we went to bed last night, or we tried to, and everybody started slaughtering each other, and there were tentacles at the window trying to get in.
Odd.
Didn't you say you knew something about this?
I mean, it's not that unfamiliar. It's not that. I like to say that it's not that uncommon. It's probably rarer than it should be.
Oh,
But
by the way, do me a favor, Noah and Zero. I need you to make me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Cool. Can't wait to roll 0. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I am great at
dice.
those. 12. It's something. I got a 12.
I got a 3.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay. By the way, just so you know, you would both have advantage on this. I'm not going to tell you why
Oh.
though.
Okay.
Oh,
There we go.
13.
Better. 19.
Noah, you feel the charm effect wear away.
Okay. Do I notice anything different after that happens?
Um, the water seems to be boiling. And in addition to that, your memory starts to return.
Okay.
You tried to get a certain distance away, and you were taken over and commanded to come back.
Okay. Uh, does water always look like that? I'll point it out to Zerwa.
Look like the black. Is this effect having like an effect on what I should be saying here, by the way, or am I like in control of my faculties and whatnot?
You are not aware that you are charmed.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean it shouldn't look like that.
Speaking of, I need to roll for Liana.
I've seen
What are his
pretty deep
bonuses?
water, but it's never that color. It's not right.
But it's like it's bubbling, like it's boiling.
It is. Can I see
You
that too? Or is that part of the charm being lifted?
It's part of the charm.
I mean,
Does
it just
Johnson see that it is boiling?
Yes.
looks like water.
Water is not meant to boil like this. Are we
What he
sure
said-
that it is water?
You
You
said that
Boil.
Donson, you feel something kind of tickle the back of your mind. However, when it's like a sucker on a tentacle touches the back of your neck, but is then ripped off by something.
You know that in cartoons when something icky touches a character and they just kind of vibrate starting from the feet all the way up?
Mhm.
That's what happens with Johnson. And then he
Amazing.
turns around.
Johnson, you see it, right?
If you mean the boiling water, then yes.
Yeah.
I am
Boiling-
not so concerned about the water at the moment. I am more concerned about that. Pointing back
Are-
to the drums and the people on procession.
I mean, yeah. You're right. What is going on?
You tell me, you have been here for longer than I have.
I mean, this is the first time that's happened for us. Unless I remember that happening before now.
Nope.
Or is this okay, so this is still the first time. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of remember what's been happening, but that's still new. Should we take a closer
Let us
look?
find out.
Yeah. Let's get closer.
Are they taking them towards the water?
Yep. And Zerawa, you feel like it's a good thing that they're being brought to the water.
Oh, great.
It's everyone knows you need to bathe in black water to really be purified of all of your issues and your sins and all of these things. And this just keeps repeating in the back of your head as in something you subtly know.
Yeah. I mean, we can look, maybe see what they're gonna get out of it.
I mean, this doesn't really look friendly. Should we really wait for them to do whatever they're doing?
I mean, yeah, it's a good thing, right? Like,
What is?
going to the water. It's not the same as just any water. It's like cleaner, right? It's
You think that water is good?
well, I mean, if it's growing the trees and it's providing the food and it's keeping these people alive and it's different, right? It's different than normal water. So I wouldn't, jump off a boat to bathe in the ocean, but this kind of I don't know how to explain it. I've been on a lot of water. Like, do you ever just know something?
I I felt something a little bit ago when I started to remember everything. Something kept bringing us back the moment we got away, but it wasn't just us appearing there. Something like it called us back. Are you feeling okay?
Roll Arcana.
Okay.
Me or him?
Him.
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Well, as
Not
fine as I can be after last night, but
not spectacular. 10.
That makes it. You
Okay.
are aware that you were charmed.
Okay. That she is charmed.
You
Or that
were.
I am. I was aware that I was charmed. Yeah. Okay. I thought you told me that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Do you share that she might be charmed?
Yes. I think
Hmm.
Dunson.
Allow me to try something.
Yeah, I think
You
she might be charmed.
mentioned
hold on.
tentacles coming to grab you. That is typically something associated with either sea creatures or potentially something larger. This might be able to help. I doubt it,
Okay.
but you never know. I am going to cast protection from good and evil.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Basically,
try
until
to
the spell ends,
dodge it.
one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures: aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. I don't have to read any further if whatever is causing this is not part of that.
It is.
Cool. So
Okay.
that means the creatures, they have disadvantage on rolls against the target for the next 10 minutes, or as long as I have concentration. They can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. And if they are already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throws. So it
Follow-up
doesn't solve it
question.
immediately, but
Am I
Here's
a
the
willing
problem. You do
creature?
not get a saving throw.
Yeah. Plus, am I a willing creature at this point?
You wouldn't have. I'll tell you what. You hear like some kind of like sensation in the back of your neck, and you just kind of like, maybe this guy isn't the most friendly. Wait a minute. Why wouldn't he be friendly? And you get this kind of like this double take real quick. Roll me a save, and because of the effect, you may have advantage. DC
Wisdom save?
14 Wisdom saving throw.
Great. Hey, that's a 14.
Nice.
And the magic takes hold, and it seems to like it's like there's an invisible tentacle wrapped around your head, and now it's gone, and you can see clearly.
Okay.
You were enslaved.
I just kind of shake my head a little bit and like cover my face.
Leonu's looking kind of like the same way you were, by the way. He just kind of looks like, nothing's wrong.
Okay, one way or another, there's something incredibly fucked up happening here. Can I see the water boiling now?
Yes, and all the people in the procession stop and turn towards you.
Did it work?
Something worked. I see what you're talking about.
the attention of others.
Yeah, do they want something from us?
They all look at you with like almost dead eyes.
They
Then
remind
in
me of
one
the
chorus, they
caribou.
start to walk towards you.
About how many are there?
24.
2 dozen. Okay.
This reminds me of the caribou.
Lean over to Donson. Whatever you just did to me, can you do it to them too?
He's now thinking of
The-
maintaining
hang
concentration
on.
with all those hits.
Yeah. Well, I can't. So the spell only works on one person at a time, and it'll only be in effect for up to 10 minutes. We do not know what will happen if I were to drop concentration on.
Oh.
For all we know, this could be a temporary relief.
So I have 10 minutes. Great.
9.
Did Lianio
Even
also
better.
turn towards us and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Manu, you good too?
He looks up and his eyes turn white, and he says with an otherworldly voice, "From where have you come?"
I'll take that as a no. You can't do anything about one other person, Dansen?
Do you want to risk it? No.
I guess it's up to Zerwa.
I can't do anything to help.
Donson will answer the question from elsewhere. Where have you come from?
My village. My servants. I give them fruit. They give me life. It looks up into the sky and looks down at you and then twists its head. But something's different. It twists again. Someone, he twists, messed with my village.
That is quite unfortunate. I am very sorry that that has occurred to you. But that could not have been done by us, as we are just passing through. If you would release my friend here, we will be on our way.
More slaves for the pyre.
And there's no way we can snap him out of this. I have no way to snap him out of this.
You may roll an Arcana to see your options.
Sure.
I have a +2. Let's find out. I don't
I
know
already
jack
rolled-
shit.
Yeah, I rolled earlier, so I would assume no for me.
18.
You know that with a lot of charm effects, if you injure the person, there is a chance that they might be able to break it.
Great.
And with these kinds of charm effects, normally after you break it, you can't really be affected by it for a little while.
Okay. So we could force him out of it, maybe.
Force?
If we're
What do you mean?
if we're willing to, I don't know, hurt him somehow. Do you ever pinch yourself to like wake yourself up or
Do
reset
you at
it?
least do you share the fact that you will probably be resistant if it happens again?
Yeah, I would do that.
All right, I drop concentration and cast protection from good and evil on Lianyu.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if I have time, immediately follow it up with Shillelagh.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to make a grappling check to see if you can, because the person behind the control doesn't want this to happen, but the person being controlled is still resisting. So if you can succeed on a grappling check, I'll allow you to cast.
21.
You nailed this son of a bitch.
Nice.
So the last thing that I'll say before I hit him is I'll just say, it would be wise for you to leave us alone, or you will lose your entire village in flame. And then bonk.
Amazing.
Go to mind control jail. Okay, roll the hit. Does anyone have Liany's AC around?
I think
Could do.
it's 12 or 13 without mage armor.
Yeah, I see 13.
I would think he would have casted mage armor knowing him.
On the way
The
into
moment
town,
the
I don't
moment
think
anything
so.
goes fishy, I think that fucker cast mage armor.
I
So
don't think so,
13
yeah.
plus 7.
13 plus 7? 20 is definitely gonna fucking hit.
Yeah, and then it is a D8 plus 5. So a single D8. Bing.
Kills him.
7. The weapon also becomes magical if it isn't already. My great club is a magical great club.
Bonk. Okay. Let's see. He needs to make a wisdom saving
Advantage
throw.
on the
I will
saving
roll it
throw.
for him. His wisdom is +2, not amazing. Oh, barely. Oh my god, that was so close. Okay. The
Roll again, see if the advantage helped.
okay. It did not,
Good.
but he succeeds.
Like,
He's got like the cartoony like dizzy thing over his head, but he's otherwise fine.
All right. So
I did not plan this
Given-
far ahead. What are we doing?
given he's conscious, given whatever that thing just said, my guess is we need to stop that. And I'll point at like the procession of people. If they're feeding villagers to whatever's in that lake, we can't let them get there. I don't know if that's
I don't
enough
know.
to stop much immediately, but
From what it said is that it already owned the villagers here. There is
Mhm.
some deal that has occurred.
I don't know if I like
It
my odds
provides
against the whole
sustenance in
mob either.
exchange for people.
So everyone has Tailspire, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
No.
give me a second, and we'll be
Wait.
setting up Tailspire. It's gonna go into initiative.
Let's
Oh, okay.
launch the thing.
And since we reached 10 sessions, remind me after this session if you guys have time. We'll get your character set up in Hero Forge.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Half a minute, just need to spend some money on the thing.
I did threaten the guy to the otherworldly being if you leave us alone, we won't burn your village to the ground, or at least Donson won't. So he's still on that. Like, we can just go, and we'll be cool.
I mean,
Speaking
And
of,
then if they attack,
there is now a bird. There is now a giant bird coming down. Caw!
whatever that is, doesn't bode well.
There is a man riding down his back. Braden, tell me what you see.
With a giant bird. What I see. Well, what do I see?
You see a
Mhm.
mob looking at basically you see Donson become red as Donson Bonksley on you.
Yeah, I guess Brayden, is just gonna kind of spur the bird towards the mob, and like from this distance, kind of like make out that they are the party.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, spurring the bird as close as I can to them. Really. See how the flying is the easy part, but like a plane, apparently landing is where it's most difficult.
You need a crash landing. There's a good mob target for you.
just roll into them. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a riot.
Allow me
just-
to get you guys added to the campaign here.
Mhm.
Invite code. Here is the invite code. I'm putting it in general channel.
Yeah, let me load it up. Jeez.
I remember how to do this. Okay.
Yeah. Tailspire.
Do you guys need me to share, or has everyone got it?
If you can share, that'd be beneficial for myself. Thank you.
I am launching it right now.
Oh, look at this.
This is ripped off a Tail Bazaar, so assume this area over here has all the water.
Okay.
Nice.
Is the tower in sight from the village?
In the grand distance, yes.
Okay.
But there's right now there's like a cloud line between the tower and the village. That's why it's not really particularly visible most of the time.
Okay.
Okay, is this the right thing?
I think I'm in.
Oh, there we go.
It says waiting on GM.
Where are the enemies at?
I had to hit menu and like go to a different board. So
Oh,
up in the top left.
Oh, I see. Boards. Village
Yeah.
fight. Okay.
Show
Oh,
me
okay.
the beings I must bird.
Why? Oh, yeah, WASD. Where are we?
All right. Let's get a representation of you guys real quick.
Hellspire is so pretty, man.
Oh yeah, it's great, dude.
It's really cool.
For this purpose, we'll have Leon you just not be in the combat because I can't be fucked to run it.
That's fine.
Totally fair.
I can use him as a human shield.
If my character died when I wasn't even there, I'd be low key pissed.
Oh yeah,
So-
for sure. Are we meant to be seeing the
I don't know,
minis, or do you
consequences
have
are
to
not
hit
showing up.
something to get it to load for us?
Uh,
Oh, you're in build mode, so I would imagine that you have to like save before you can.
no, that's not really. Give me a little bit. I'm getting your character, your model set up.
Okay.
Got Donton, got need to get Zerawa. See if I can use like one of old Natalia's ones. Maybe that'll work for your sorcerer. Hello, Hero Forge. Do you want to cooperate? There we go. This'll do. All right, and then Chime will get you with a generic knight.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you tell me you guys still can't see it?
I can see it okay
Nope.
online. Or at least from the share, rather.
I do not see
I
the
do not see anything
menus.
yet.
Let me look
Okay.
at something.
Oh, I know why. I gotta give you guys your permission to control shit. So here we go. So team tools, player permission, Natsuki, movie
Ah,
around,
there we go.
There we
There
go.
we go.
player permission, Don Sen, movie around, and then player permission. Ooh, there we go.
I
Cool.
don't know.
Nice
This
mount,
druid is
bro.
a little bit too foliage for me.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm just making fun.
Okay. The statue represents the statue represents the cart with the people on there.
Okay.
Okay, so now the absolute magic words you guys are almost ready to hear. Just realized I had to. Okay, there we go. Let me run the encounter here in a second. Whenever it's done. Okay, roll initiative.
Hey. Boom.
Oh no, where'd my storm dice go?
Oh shit,
23.
I need to edit this actually. So
Braden.
I just
Braden has a
realized I
6.
didn't have Braden on here for some reason. Or no, not Braden, Dodson, unhead character. There you go.
Trying.
Fat. With a PH.
Yeah, huge.
Zero is being like, I'm last. QQ.
The first one landed like between the 17 and the 3 in the corner of the dice tray, so I re-rolled it and rolled a 2.
Oh.
I can't wait
Very cool.
for the freaking pixel dice to get here. They started shipping so that way I can roll physical dice but be connected to all of the fucking different programs.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait,
Alright,
what?
Braden.
That sounds awesome.
What's your initiative?
Yep.
The
I got a
pixel,
6.
The pixel dice was a it was a Kickstarter where it's basically Bluetooth dice, and whatever you rolled, it would output the number onto like your computer or whatever.
That's
So
awesome.
it's like Bluetooth connected, so that way you can connect it to like Foundry or Fantasy Grounds or things of that nature. So that way you can still roll physical dice while playing online games.
I love that. I'm gonna have to look into it. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that's
They're
pretty
pretty
cool.
I wonder how
expensive,
much
though.
they were.
I mean, I paid like over 100 for a full set, so they're expensive.
Yikes.
I'd have to actually look.
Dunson, what was your initiative?
Oh, are you not using the D&D Beyond initiative?
I had to redo it, so I didn't pick it up. What was your initiative out? So that's why I'm asking.
It was 6.
Man, your initiatives suck.
Well, I mean, it's only a +1, so.
All right.
If we have the same initiative, I'm at -1 dexterity. If you use that or not.
All right, Noah, your go.
okay. They're approaching us, and we haven't really actually engaged them yet. And I see a big ass bird flying towards us. Can I? Is there like? So this scene is exactly what we see, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. Can I cast Silent Image? Is there a way I can like ping or like where I want to cast it?
Yeah. See toggle rulers where at the bottom right, click that, and you can do like this, for example.
Toggle what? Oh, toggle ruler. Oh, I see. Okay. So, like, can I cast Silent Image like here behind the building? And can I cast just a smaller version that'll fit inside my casting radius of that fucking Hydra, just rounding the corner and staring these things down to try and scare them away from us?
See,
Did you see where I pinpointed?
Yeah, you are
Okay.
about 30. Let's see,
30
5
feet,
times.
and let me check the range on that spell.
About 40 feet actually.
40 feet. Okay.
Yeah. That should be within.
Silent
Most
Image.
spells are much longer
It's
than 40
60
feet.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 60 feet, and I can put it. It can fit. The creature has to fit within a 15-foot cube, so it's 15 feet tall by 15 feet wide.
Okay.
And I'm casting it behind there just so that they don't see where it's like that it wasn't there before. You know, not summoning it right in front of their eyes. But yeah, I just wanted to start crawling out and like peeking its multiple heads around towards the crowd to try and scare them off. I don't know if it'll actually work, but
Silent image.
Silent Image, correct. So it will not create sound.
Okay. They look at it, they ignore it. They're not in
Gotcha.
control of their own bodies. Sorry about.
Yeah. No, I had a feeling. Shit. Well, still not working with that. Are we fighting these things? I'm gonna just take, I think, just a couple steps back. Which one am I? Like there?
Yeah, you're that one. You're that one.
We're just gonna take a couple steps back, and kind of wait to see what everyone else is doing for the time being. And that's my turn.
Okay, bad news, guys. All of the commenters are going before the rest of you.
Not super surprised.
Yeah. We had some pretty clutch initiatives, but not quite that clutch.
Out of the frying pan into the oven.
Not all of them can reach you in one round, though. Because they have torches and clubs.
As a reaction, because I have Polearm Master, when a creature enters my reach, I can use a reaction to whack it. If I am able to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. Okay, so as they kind of approaches towards it, Braden is just gonna stab it with his spear. Ooh, that's 20. I'm not gonna smite though. We're just gonna strike with the damage. For 15 points of damage. So as one kind of approaches towards, I think Braden's gonna kind of just like lean his spear kind of over the shield and just kind of just basically like hold it out and kind of lunge forward as they kind of walk into it, basically. Braden is not doing non-lethal as a worthwhile point of note.
Gotcha.
Braden, no.
Braden, yes!
You're into the darkness.
Kill the peasants. Yeah. I think like coming into like this kind of scene, I think Braden's pretty focused minded on what it kind of looks like from above.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
you have no context.
So that definitely hints how much damage you do.
Yep.
How much damage?
15. I already said, sorry.
One's dead.
Damn.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Only 3 are in range to hit you right now. They're gonna swing at you with clubs. That one fails. They're all gonna fail. Highest roll is 11.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Braden, it's your turn.
Oh good. Just quickly, with initiative, do you do tied initiative is based off dex, or do you just
It's the default, which is I believe Dex.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure someone else said they rolled a 6, and I have a -1 deck, so I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. But I just check in case anyone else had anything else.
You said
they
your
wanted to.
initiative was
Otherwise,
6.
yeah, mine was
Yeah,
6 with
gotcha.
the -1 deck. I think
I
someone
think
else said
Dawson's
6 as
was
well.
too, yeah.
That's okay. I'm happy to just go now. Just gonna do a little bit of rampaging. Okay, I think Braden, like in regards to like
Yeah, you add your
mounted.
dexterity modifier. So if you have a negative dex, you
Yeah.
He's saying
Oh,
if two people roll the same, how do you determine who goes first? Because usually it's whoever has the higher
gotcha,
dex.
gotcha.
So that would put Dunsen going first because they both got 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, it's normally whoever. It's normally just whatever D&D Beyond tells me.
Okay.
It's often alphabetical. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's. I think it's random. To be real with you. 'Cause I've
Yes,
had it.
my character Aaron is here. Combat. Oh yeah.
Aaron.
Aaron. Fastest gun in the West. Yeah. Okay. So I think what Braden's gonna do.
Actually,
I
hold
think
on.
he's just.
Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt. That would actually be a hilarious character whose entire purpose is just to go first in initiative while not being very useful.
Ron. Yes. Yeah. Pretty much. All right. Gotcha. So if Braden's gonna do his turn now, I think first question I have in regards to like mounted combat, is it just kind of like as is in the rules? Are you doing anything special because it doesn't have a saddle or anything?
Yeah, basic rules. I'm not super familiar with mounted
Okay,
combat because
gotcha.
I try to avoid it
I mean,
with all of my
it's
heart, but
yeah, all good. I think Brayden, yes, but basically using his spear, he's just going to turn towards the peasant to his right, and he's just going to kind of lunge towards the peasant below. So with the spear, 20 to hit for. Oh, so that was. So I rolled that to hit again. So I'm just going to roll the damage now. Apologize. For 7 points of damage, Brayden's going to use a divine smite. So as his spear kind of cracks down into the chest of this commoner, it's kind of like a loud kind of booming, I guess, echo and a flash of light kind of moves across. And I'm just going to roll the damage here. Give me a second. Sorry, my D&D Beyond's being so laggy. It's 1d8 and the second d8.
just so you know, these commoners have 4 health.
Well, they got less than that now. So 20 points of damage. Brayden's just gonna kind of as one kind of initially runs forward, Brayden's gonna spear one, and then he's gonna turn towards the other and just again kind of spear through the neck of the second one with a loud kind of boom and like a bright flashing light as he strikes. As he does that strike, he's going to turn to the other peasant in front of him on the left with the bonus action. He's going to whip the pommel of the spear with the peasant on the side of his head. Going to
That orb, that AoE is concerning me.
24 to hit, and the
You know that
damage-
hits. The AC is look. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real with you. 4 health, 10 AC. You're murdering a bunch of peasants.
For 7.
They're dead.
He knows. That's why he's going this hard.
Yeah.
So did
So,
you hit like a
yeah.
third thing or just the second thing?
Second thing.
Okay. Okay.
So
Alright.
there should be three in total. First one was the reaction. First one was the action. The last one that I just did then was the bonus action with
Gotcha.
Alarm Master.
Okay.
Yep.
So.
I just see in your screen share opening the search dead commoner. It's like yeah.
No. Okay, Donson, your go.
So my next question is, if I look to the village proper, because I thought this was on the outskirts of it and I was coming in. So how densely populated does that village look?
You can see across the horizon. I was about to tell you, but you actually looked out for it. There's another dozen commoners coming.
All right. I'm going to, I guess, move up, and I'm going to just look one in the eyes. And does it have those white eyes like what happened with Lianyu?
Correct.
I'm going to look it dead in the eyes and just say, how many are here? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Okay. He will say, I have given you a chance, and I will not give you another. You have lost 12 of your slaves, or whatever you call them. I understand you have earned them through some deal, but if you continue to be a pest, then you will no longer have anyone to feed upon.
I have Legion. You hear all of them say.
Then burn. And Donson is going to cast. So I don't have an AoE. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say then burn. He's just gonna say then the village shall burn. And I'm going to cast Spike Growth.
Okay.
Which basically means that in a 20-foot area, so I'm going to, I guess, just walk away a little bit. Even if he wants to do like a freaking attack on me or whatever, it doesn't matter because So 4 tiles. I don't want it to be right there. I wish that I could just move the whole thing without actually changing the size of it, because that's kind of annoying. Yeah, why is there not a way to just
I got you.
move
Don't
the
worry about it.
sphere?
Where you want it,
But
just
anyways.
center it where you want it to be.
There we go. That captures everyone. So, spike growth. The ground in a 20-foot radius centered on a plant on a point within range twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
That is like perfect for your purposes, isn't it?
Pretty much. And then immediately following that, I guess instead of going this direction, because he was like right here, he's just going to start walking in whatever direction the village is, because he is now a man on a mission. Because he
Zero.
has given this thing 2 chances. He will not have a third.
All right. So, as I see this threat happening and Donson start to head in that direction and say, you can rob it of its people, but you're going to rob these people of their home if we get them out. Are we really killing these peasants? They're charmed. They're okay. And then so which of these guys are like just the ones on the ground are dead, correct?
Correct. The
Okay,
rest will shortly, very shortly be dead.
Okay, I'm
They
gonna
already
go
have a
over
pre-planned
to
order to charge, and they're about to take damage every 5 feet. They have 4 health. They're all gonna die.
Okay, I'm gonna take this guy who's not quite in the AoE, and I'm just gonna stab him and hope that it doesn't hit for very much.
Would
You're
you like
trying
to
to get mad.
non-lethally
Yeah,
stab
I would
him?
like to non-lethally stab
Thank
him.
you, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's the
Hey,
thing. That's the
some
thing I can do.
speech for a murderer.
Hey. Okay,
We're
well,
robbing them of their lives. Stab.
I rolled an 8, so never mind. I'm not gonna stab him. I'm just gonna shake him really hard and say, "Wake up!" That's all.
It looks to your right and raises its club, waiting for its turn. All right, Noah.
Following up on Zerwa, I'm going to say, guys, Zerwa's right. They can't control themselves. Please stop. And I'm going to run up towards the one Zerwa fought at. And I think it's outside of the ring. I don't really know. But I'm going to try and, non-lethal knock him out. Let me Alt-Tab. Come on, Alt-Tab. Work. Okay. Which is... Where do I roll that actions? Non-lethal knock him out, which is a 16 to hit. It doesn't really matter how much damage I do because it's over 4. Does that knock him out?
This one?
It was 9.
Yes.
Yes.
If you specified non-lethal using bludgeoning, it does not come out.
Yes. Sorry, what?
If you specified
If I-
non-lethal with bludgeoning, it does not come out. If I remember correctly, it requires bludgeoning damage.
To knock out.
To do non-lethal, yes. I believe it requires bludgeoning. I could be wrong.
I didn't know about that. Well, I mean, I was just using the pommel of my dagger.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yeah, it would be improvised. It'd be 1d4 plus your dex since it's a finesse weapon.
Okay. I mean, that's what it already is. So, and if he's knocked out, is he on the spikes, or is he not? Like, could I move him away from the spikes to get that person to safety?
That would require an action. But he's currently out of it.
It wouldn't just take half movement to move him?
No. Alright, there we go. It's not gonna be pretty, but I'll have to merge these. Damn, I lost like 30 minutes of content, it looks like. That's fine, it is what it is. It's just you guys fighting, so it's not the end of the world.
If there's ever time for that.
Yeah, just I'm doing this for the recording. TLDR, they were bonking people, realized that bonking them made people start to fight the control they're under, and they started saving, and then a bunch of people started running into the water to retreat. So that's TLDR. Okay, continue. So what were you
Except
saying?
for Donson.
Yeah, so I think Brayden is very kind of like confused and unsure as to what exactly he's kind of stumbled himself into, and he's going to kind of take a couple of heavy breaths and kind of look towards his party and just kind of shoot them a bit of a forced smile. Says that we'll save reunions for a bit. What the hell's going on here?
I wish we had
suppose-
answers.
I suppose
right
Donson
now-
would say, there's something controlling the people in this village. It has decided to. What am I thinking of? Something along the lines of it has decided to eradicate all of them to get back at us, or something like that.
Do you know who's doing it?
There's
No.
a lot to explain, but there's a lot of injured people here. We should get them a little out of this area. It doesn't feel safe here.
All right, well, how many people were in the cart that were let loose?
3, I think.
3.
Yeah.
I think Brayden, like, they're still close by, or have they already totally bolted away?
They are very close by. They're currently hiding behind Zorua.
I think Brayden's just gonna kind of look towards them and very, very kind of short-tempered. He's just gonna kind of say, "What the hell's going on here?"
They start to tear up and they kind of explain that I all of a sudden I didn't know who they are, and they grabbed all of us and they were gonna throw us in the water.
What's in the water?
They kind of look up to each other and they make some strange symbol with their hands, as if to ward off evil.
I think Brayden's just gonna look towards the others and just kind of give a shrug. Says, "Well, we could do a quick round and see if there's anyone else hiding. Maybe. I don't know where they're all going." And he's gonna kind of raise his spear towards the water.
Donson is gonna say, I do not suspect there are any more people. Everyone in the village was under its control, and now it looks like it's sending them back. Or it's calling them to it. More than likely to feed.
They mutter something under their breath, and almost like a curse, and you don't quite catch it, but it's not in a language you know.
Not in a language any of us know?
Do any of you speak Uncommon?
No.
Nope. Donson will continue. It is more than likely preparing for a fight against us. Either we go or get ready.
I mean, we can hardly leave a village like this to its own, right? I just don't exactly
No,
know
we
what
can't.
most of us can do underwater.
You must be missing something. The entire village was under its control. These, and he'll point to all of the survivors, were the lucky ones,
The entire village.
based on what I was told from the others.
Can I go look for Alara?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
She's inside her end.
Alara, are you alright?
Oh, yes, dear.
Do you know what's happening outside?
Oh, I suspect the thing that lives in the lake has let loose.
So you know all about this. Fuck. Yes. Do you know of anything we can do to stop it? Do you know of any way that we can keep these people safe? There's survivors out there who we broke out of its control, but we have nowhere to put them. We have nowhere to go. Is it safe in here?
I do know of one place you might be able to put them. Gather all of them and bring them to me, and she looks at her skin. 5 minutes.
Shit. Okay. Can I roll insight on her?
Yes.
Okay. 16.
She's a wrinkly old lady.
All right. So there's not or I guess specifically, It doesn't seem like this is an untrustworthy request.
It's definitely suspicious, but you don't have much of a choice.
Shit. All right. It's the best we can do. Thank you. Stay put, and I'll run back out and try to kind of like corral people.
The girls are currently in the fetal position, rolling back and forth, muttering the same phrase over and over again.
Can I kneel down next to one of them and see if I can get her attention? Just like wave a hand in front of her face. Hey,
She's currently crying her eyes out.
can you look at me?
She stops for a second and looks at you.
It's gonna be all right. Do you understand me?
Hold on one second. She's going to
Deception check.
She's going to say Claire Sweet. The other two girls look at her and they look at you and they say Claire Sweet, Claire Sweet.
I'm just gonna smile and shake my head. They were speaking common just a few minutes ago, explaining this. It's fine. And I'm gonna kind of like.
Would you like to roll a Arcana?
Sure. 9.
Part of the influence they were under allowed them to speak the same language of everyone around them.
Okay.
How does the cart look? Like, is it still in a piece?
Yeah, it's got like some rocks and stuff like that. It's kind of like in relatively bad shape, but it's serviceable.
Donson is gonna point to the cart. Pack them in.
What? How? That's. I mean, they need somebody to be gentle with them. They need protection.
Meanwhile,
What do you wanna do with
the goat man's like, treat them like pack animals.
No,
Herd
Donson
them.
is going to go. You have obviously become attached to them. If you wish to save them, do it now. We need to move.
Shit. I think we should get them all into the inn. There's a woman in
What
there
inn?
who was kind to us. I point at the building where Alara was. She was kind to us. She seems to be in control of her faculties. I don't know if it's entirely safe, but it's certainly safer than out here.
Donson is immediately going to go, and she is a native of the village.
I mean, she's. I don't know how to classify that exactly.
We have not met one person who was not underneath this spell. Everyone that entered, including the boat, all 3, because he doesn't know about Brayden, whether or not he was charmed or not. All 3 of you were under its charm effect the moment you entered. I had to release it, so why is she not? We don't have time. We either leave or we fight.
Say again, Brayden.
He said charm effect.
Charm effects. Look, it's been a long couple days. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
I can't
Is the water boiling?
By the way,
Brayden?
guys, couple of days immediately strikes a chord with you. Wait a minute, he's only been gone maybe a day.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is we can hardly leave a village here by itself. There's something preying on it. If that means we have to get people out of the village and regroup and figure out what the hell's going on, then so be it. But if this thing is getting ready for something, I think it's daft to let it to give it time to prepare. No.
When we tried to leave, it didn't let us. We left. We walked away. We stayed on one road. We crested a hill, and there was the same place, and we're back.
Who was the first one that came out of it? That was Noah,
I
right?
think
Did you say something about how the charm effect made you walk back?
Yeah, I thought.
You said that you remembered stuff.
I thought Theo explained that I remembered the last few days, and that I remember walking out and then being inflicted with a charm and coming back.
Yep.
Is that
Yeah.
correct? Okay.
Yep.
So I do
Oh,
remember
sorry.
that.
I thought that was related to like the box and waking up in the field. Yeah, got it.
So I do remember that it has been a few days, and that it is like specifically tied to trying to leave, or just kind of like on a timer that we ended up hitting by. Could I tell?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Speaking of, there's currently a small black dog coming out of Zerwa's shadow, and the three girls are looking at it,
I was
and
gonna
like,
offer them one actually.
and they're like gasping at each other. And here's the thing: it's just its head and its tail poking out.
I'm gonna lean down and like coax the dog further out of the shadow and to them.
They whisper to each other, "Soul Forger, Soul Forger, Soul Forger,"
What?
and they continue to speak in like their unusual language. But you keep picking up the word Soul Forger.
I'm sorry, I don't even remember if you told me in character or out of character that was his name.
While we are going through all of this, can Donson take a look at in the direction of like the lake? Is like the boiling getting more frantic?
The
As people
boiling
jump
has
into it?
ceased completely. Instead, there is a slight whirlpool in the center.
Okay, I'm gonna give everyone their chance, and then Donson is gonna do his thing
Mhm.
and start
I think,
forcing people to move.
I think during the exchange, I think Braden's going to kind of close his eyes, take a big inhale and exhale, and going to use a divine sense just in the direction of the water.
Remind me again
Okay.
what you can sense with Divine Sense.
Divine sense is you can detect good and evil. To the end of your turn, you can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or another location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Nothing.
Okay. Cool.
One of the young ladies will point to the dog and say, "Soul Forger," and they will point to Zero and say, "Claire Sweet."
I looked at my notes. I said the dog says his name is Soul Forger, so I assume that means I know in character.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'll lean down and just nod my head and say yes, Soul Forger, and like coax him further out and see if I
His
can't get him
wagging
to.
intensifies.
Yeah, buddy, come sit by them. Can you let them pet you?
He rolls on his back.
Yeah. And I'll kind of like demonstrate like petting him and like see if I can't gesture to like encourage them to do the same.
Elvira will come out and yell, "Come on, come on! You don't have much time."
Are we taking people in there or not?
I do not trust that woman.
I still think we get people to safety and regroup.
We get out.
While Donson is like getting the cart ready.
All right.
If anyone can't walk, we can transport them by cart, but I think we need to move. We can figure more out when we have more time.
Okay. I will look down at Soul Forger and say, "We'll talk about this later. I need to know if you know them." And then I'll get up and head over to Alara and say, "I think we've decided to get them out of town instead. You're welcome to come if you want, but I just don't think that having them stay right here is a good idea."
For everyone that is still around the cart, you'll see Donson from his scarf, like a billowing smoke come out, and him just say out loud, "You will not do anything." And then look to everyone else and the girls and just say, "In the cart now."
Noah will help the unconscious man or woman, whoever I'm carrying, into the cart, and then anyone that looks too injured to move on their own quickly, he will help them into the cart as well. Are you muted, Theo?
No, I'm not.
Okay, just wanted to
So
make sure.
the old lady of Elvara, she yells at Zero. Come here, quickly. We're running out of time.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna help them. I'm sorry.
Fool girl, come here.
Later. I promise we'll talk later.
We don't have time.
Neither do we.
She's like at the very edge of her end. She says, I can't leave. I can't come to you.
Okay, I'll come back. But later.
Oh.
I get it.
Let's see. Make me a wisdom
Who
save.
has Rule's ring? Who has Rule's ring?
Me?
Important question.
Lianya does, I believe.
Yeah, I think Leonie.
7.
Didn't someone else have something else I let them see?
I mean, I think I can see Rule at times.
Yes.
I did.
Okay.
I remember that, but I don't know if I still can. And I don't think I have the ring. I think it was for a different reason.
This is a charm effect, by the way. You have failed your save. I don't know if you get advantage on charms saves.
Don't believe I do.
You just see Zerwa stop what she's doing and walk to the old lady. And she's gonna cast another spell. And she's gonna touch your nose. You know how to comprehend languages.
Oh. Okay.
So
Suddenly
Rule
the
says something
charm
to them,
disappears. You were saying?
What?
All I was saying is I was messaging because Rule is going to say something, but only.
We'll just. I mean, we'll just have Leonia give up the ring to someone while he's not there. It's kind of hard to have it on like when people. The last time I had it on a player, but she was always in the session. I don't think I ever remember a session she didn't make it, as far as I know. So it wasn't really an issue. But so as you were, Zera has the ring.
Okay. So the ring would allow me to hear what I just got messaged
What did you get messaged?
from Ool. I don't. Okay, completely.
I'll send it to you. This is what Rule told her.
You're not very trustworthy there, Rule.
What can I say? I haven't met one that is.
Well. All right.
So Ul appears in a Hawaiian shirt, drinking out of a coconut.
All right. So hearing this, I think I'm gonna just pause for a second, and I'm standing right there, in front of her, I guess. Is this just so I can talk with them?
You need to bring them in my inn. We don't have
Why?
much time. Because
Why?
I can get them to a place where it's safe.
I think so can we, though.
Oh, really? You can travel, she says, 5 miles in less than an hour? In less than 30 minutes?
Shit. No, I don't know.
It will reassert itself in no time. You think you're the first one to come around here hitting people and deciding until they wake up?
I guess not.
I am trapped here. You are not.
Okay, I'm sorry. And then I'll turn around and go back to the group. We have to get them inside. I think it's the only way it's not gonna catch us. Like, we can't get far enough soon enough.
What are they gonna do inside?
I don't know, but she says that she can get them far enough away, and I think she's not. I think she's something else, but if she's like Magda, maybe she'll help us. Anyway.
Donson will just say, "Give me one reason why I should trust her."
Because we met her sister or someone who trusts and communicates with her, and she did nothing but help us in incredible ways. Do you want to gamble with whatever's in there? Pointing at the water.
Do you trust her, Zerwa?
I think I trust her more than myself.
Well, I'll trust you on this. If you think that's the right call, I'm for it.
Donson will go. More smoke billowing out this time, and then he'll just say, "Enough. We either go or we go. We either go or we stay. I will follow whatever is chosen, but do it now."
I'm with you, Zerwa.
So
I think we
you can
should stay.
communicate with the girls again, and they're talking to Soulforger, and they're saying, "Oh, little precious servant, little precious servant, little darkness, shadow, parla umbra, Soulforger, Soulforger." And he's just sitting there enjoying the praise.
And then, following up with that, since everyone is agreeing to go with Zerwa, Donson will go, "Fine," and then point to Zerwa. "But no, you are no god. Their blood is on your hands as well as ours if something happens."
It's
And then
too
he's
late
going to
for
start
that.
moving there.
I think you got plenty of blood on your hands already.
As he's moving toward the end, he just turns back and
I think
Big
Braden
talk.
just kind of. Sorry, go on.
I just said big talk. And then I'll start helping the people inside.
I think Braden kind of just crosses his hands and just kind of mutters to himself. And he says, "If we don't do anything, blood's also on our hands." I think he's kind of like slumped on the griffin, and he's probably just going through rations at the moment. He's probably like he's not getting off the griffin to help. He's kind of just sitting. I say griffin, I don't know why. Rock. He's sitting on it, and he's kind of just like slumped himself, and he's just kind of chowing down some rations. He's not making any move to get off. He's kind of just catching his breath a little bit.
By the way, I like to believe the Rock is eating your rations while you're trying to eat them.
Yeah, I'll probably like break 3/4 of it off and give it to the bird, and try and like get some of the scraps for myself.
The bird walks over to the door and looks at it disconcertedly.
Yeah, don't worry, buddy. We'll figure it out later. Let's just catch our breath. Yeah.
It turns around and tries to back up into it.
No, just come on.
You hear an old lady scream, "What the fuck?" As it starts to squeeze in.
Oh, bud. I think Braden's probably just too exhausted to make any kind of effort to stop it. Just kind of let it lets it happen. Just kind of watching. He's probably kind of keeping a gaze on the water. Just maybe like acting as some kind of guard while they ferry.
There's a large whirlpool in it.
Yeah. All good. I'll just keep a close eye on it, and yeah.
Can I communicate with the girls, or can I just
Yeah.
understand them?
You can.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down beside them for just a second. Okay. Listen, I can't make any promises. I probably can't talk to you for very long. I think the safest place for you is going to be in that inn. Go inside. Soul Forger can stay with you. We're gonna do our best to keep you safe, okay?
She picks up Soul Forger in both arms.
He'll keep you safe.
By the way, I wish to notate that she's not that tall, and Soul Forger's like just not
Like-
quite as tall as she is, and Soul Forger's like paws and tails are barely off the ground.
I can picture it.
I love that.
So everyone's inside the inn, and the bird is currently sniffing around and eating turkey.
Exactly.
The bird also finds a hanging upside down dead chicken and eats that, much to the chagrin of the woman. And she's going to say, "Quick, quick, quick! Take this." And she hands a small wrapped cloth to the first person near her.
That would be Donson, I think, because he was moving on the first. That everyone was like, okay, cool.
All right, hold
So
on.
a small wrapped cloth. Before he'll reach out and then before grabbing it, he'll go with the same billowing smoke. Why?
You need to draw the door. You need to draw the door. I can't. Her hands start to shake. Difficult, you see.
Show me.
She unwraps a cloth, and it is golden chalk.
Is everyone finally coming up?
Yeah.
Whoever comes up next, Donson will point at it. You'll need to draw a door.
Who did come in next? Good question.
That will probably be you.
Okay.
Actually,
Sure.
no, Braden with the bird.
I'd imagine I probably would have been last. But
Whoever is
yeah.
next, whoever is
Okay.
next to Donson again, same billowing smoke, and you'll never do it again if I can live to see the day. I gotta do this out loud. Ominous words to whoever walked up next to him.
Fair enough. All right, I'll take it. So, just draw where?
The bird looks at you pointedly.
On the bird?
Okay.
No. She says, "Draw on the wall." She points to like a bare section of the wall. A door.
Okay.
And the bird looks at you, glaring.
Okay. Listen, I know we don't have much time, but Alara, why are you lucid now and weren't before?
Too difficult to explain. Come on. Don't have time. The ground starts to shake. Not much time at all.
No. Okay, I'll run over to the wall and just very shakily kind of draw like the outline of what should look like a door.
What? How big is this door?
Like I don't know. We'll call it like 5 feet high and like 2 feet across. So it's not like a full size door, but
The bird looks at you ridiculously.
I'll just shrug. I'm sorry.
The bird looks at you, looks at the door, looks at you, looks at the door, and looks at it.
Fine. I'll erase part of it and make it bigger.
It nods approvingly. It's now like a wide barn door.
Okay. And is this supposed to do something?
Well, you have to be able to open the door, dear. What do you need to open it with?
I'll take a little bit too long of a second to think about it, and then draw like a handle to, if it's a barn door, like pull it to the side.
The door opens into golden light.
What's through there?
Belinda looks at you and says, "Hey!"
Oh god. Okay.
You thought you were heading to the fucking afterlife, didn't you?
This is all we got. This is all we got. Everybody through.
Sebastian kind of walks around the corner and says, "What the fuck?" as everyone comes in.
Just everybody through. We'll explain later. Anything you can do, please.
Belinda is currently attempting to ride the rock.
It's been a couple days. I just give him a little bit of space, yeah.
She looks up at it, clearly pouting.
You can play with the bird later, all right? Promise. Just
She
He
gets
needs a little
collapsed
bit of
on
time.
by about a dozen dogs. Everyone is inside the place between places. And you turn around and see the door slams shut as a tentacle enters the inn.
Is Alara still in the inn?
Yep, she slams shut the door.
All right. I'm just gonna turn and look at Donson and just cross my arms.
Is that your "I
Not the-
told you so"?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could feel the "I told you so."
Donson just looks down. You are far too trusting. It works out this one time, but what of the next?
What other options?
We had two. You picked one and it worked.
Judging by what we saw when the door closed, I don't think the second would have.
As far as we knew, the moment we
Donson just looks. I can run pretty fast.
Good for you. How about them? Gesturing at all the injured people?
That is why I said the cart.
as far as we knew, the moment we stepped far enough away, we could have just been put under another charm. There's no guarantee the safety for them would be permanent, let alone actually getting out of there.
look. We're here now, all right. Let's just kind of pump the brakes, stop the headaches. It worked out. Whether it be luck or intuition, it really doesn't matter.
That's fair. Kind of give a shrug, and it's probably pretty apparent that she's not necessarily like giving up on it. She's just shutting up about it. But
Go for it. Sorry.
I'm gonna turn to look at Brayden. So you got out. You look little the worse for wear.
By the way, guys, we will use this section as text RP, so in addition to whatever you guys discuss and all that. So this will be
Got
the
it.
text RP.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Yep. One thing that I do just want to quickly do just for this moment. I think Braden's going to approach up towards Zorua, just kind of like nod his head, and he definitely looks like noticeably, I mean, like a little bit slimmer and a little more gaunt than when you last saw him. And he'll kind of like part his hands and go in for a hug and just kind of say it's good to be back. When he's hugging you, he's going to kind of say in a very hushed tone, "Do not leave me alone." And just kind of take a step back and just kind of smile and nod and turn over towards Noah and just kind of approach towards him and kind of clap him on the shoulder. And yeah. All right, well, glad we're all back together.
Yeah. You mind helping me carry this person over? You see, I'm like still kind of dragging someone unconscious. And I'm going to just bring this person to Sebastian, who I assume is there, right?
Sebastian's going to pull out a healing potion from his belt.
Yes. If you have something to do, they're the only one unconscious. And I'm just going to hand them over or do whatever I need to do to help with that.
Sebastian starts to talk to them in Undercommon.
Okay.
So what is this place that we have managed to end up in?
Oh, I guess he hasn't been here before. That's right.
A tiefling walks through and says, "This, my friend, is the place between places."
And that doesn't explain anything. You have given me a name.
You think you know who that is, by the way?
I mean, I do. They don't.
Yeah. The tiefling bows and says, "I am Edix."
Good to meet you. That still doesn't tell me where we are.
Sebastian's going to say, think of us as a refuge for lost souls. One of the last few safe places in this cosmos. And believe it or not, we let anyone run a tab.
I guess Donson will take a seat at a table or something in that case.
The goblin next to you says, what's up?" As he's currently working on notebooks and figures.
Odd times.
Uul is currently still slurping on his coconut beverage, but now it's slightly empty.
I guess now I have to transition to rule. Just good thing that worked out.
Is it like jarring that I can see this figure? Was I not expecting it, or do I know, like, did we talk about the ring, or like what would be the?
You hear a loud Discord notification of someone joining your channel, and then followed by "Good thing we made it out."
I love it. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna nod, I guess, and say, yeah, but not like conspicuously at somebody because I get the feeling that this is weird.
Rule would continue with saying, "Yeah, it's not very often that working with a hag works out, but you made it work."
By the way, in this place, everyone can see Rule.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So if it looks like people are like responding to him and stuff, then that's fair.
But he's slightly
Uh,
illusory, like illusory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Brayden. Brayden,
Oh,
it's good to see you're safe. You look.
Yeah.
You've looked better.
I think Brayden just kind
hungry?
of smiles. He kind of nods. Ravenous, actually, and he kind of runs his fingers through his hair. Just kind of nods. It's good to be reunited.
Yeah. I feel like we should get you some food.
Yeah, food would be good. The my rations seem to have disappeared, and he kind of shoots a look towards the bird and kind of raises an eyebrow at it.
Looks like you could do with a little more than just rations. Come on.
Hmm.
And I'll start
Definitely.
walking, bringing them over to the table if you'll follow.
Yeah, I think Brayden will kind of will kind of take a few paces behind you. Say, no, have you? When was the last time you saw Olivia?
Quickly, I'm going to follow them as well. Go on.
Olivia.
Behind you, a glass falls from the tippy top of the cart, top of the shelf. Lands on the ground and like crashes, shatters, and then melts into the earth. and then it reforms up top of there, and something keeps knocking it down.
And that, I think, helps remind me. I was about to ask who Olivia was, but now I remember, is that the cat? The
Yeah.
flying cat? Okay.
Don't
Uh,
call her a cat.
It's
Coming
a
from
while.
Rule.
but that does seem a little suspicious over there, doesn't it?
I think things falling down here. I think it's all not a very usual place.
Why do you ask, though?
There's something I had to do. I don't know.
I need
Kinda
everyone to
dawned on
make
me.
me an investigation check, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. Investigation. 14.
Oh, I rolled a flat nat 20. I don't have any bonuses, so that's just.
There is
20.
a cat there. It's invisible.
Oh, I should probably roll my investigation as well.
16. But
I guess Don
Nat
Sen
20.
just looks up right at it and then looks over to either the tiefling or the troll and just goes, "It seems you have pets."
Okay. How far away? How far away is the shelf from where we are?
15 feet maybe. Just a few feet.
I
Keep it
think
across the room.
I think Brayden is specifics are really important for this.
It's invisible, by the way, so if you failed your check, you don't see it.
I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, awkward.
Oh, two of them. That's good.
I think
That is the
I think-
worst possible net
I
20
know,
to
I
roll.
know. I think I had a plan and it just kind of blew up in my face. I think Brayden is going to turn to Noah and he says, "So what kind of food do we?" And then, like mid sentence, his left hand is going to palm the back of Noah's back, kind of pushing him forward. Brayden's going to turn around, take one step closer towards the wardrobe, and with the 10-foot reach of his glaive, he's going to kind of whip it out and just slash where the invisible thing is.
Okay. Rolled it!
oh my god.
Is it surprise?
Ooh.
There. Okay.
Rule in the corner with Sebastian and Edix just placing bets on what's gonna happen.
This
Okay.
goddamn gnome.
Nat 1.
Oh, no!
Good. Unless it's surprise and there's some kind of advantage, but I kind of want it to be
It
that
is
one.
surprised.
Do you want me to roll again?
Yeah.
26. And damage. Oh, and I'm gonna smite as well. 2, 3. 28 points of damage. And then, as a bonus action, Brayden is going to take the pommel of the glaive, whip it around, and slash and kind of back on the. Sorry, 20. Was it 20? 29 points, not 28. Sorry. Glaives +1. With the bonus action, I'm not sure if like we're doing this as like a action, bonus action movement, or you just want to just do the one attack
Yeah.
and call it. What's
Yeah, bonus action and all that.
okay? Bonus action strike is a 16 to hit. I imagine the second one probably isn't going to be surprised. So 16 to hit.
It raises a paw and a magical shield appears and blocks the attack.
Okay.
Its AC is now 23.
Well, that's action, bonus action. So
Seeing as I was pushed, I'm just gonna kind of respond with, Brayden, what the hell?
Make me a wisdom save.
Who? Sorry.
You.
19.
You grovel
Braden kind of just drops the glaive and just kind of drops to both of his knees.
But within a few
Ooh.
seconds, you feel the groveling kind of disappear, despite the force exerted. You feel as
Okay.
if you can no longer be commanded by this creature.
Braden kind of drops the glaive and just throws his hands up. And I think that's probably what he does, and just gonna kind of stay there on the floor.
So you stop attacking?
Is it if does it remove the spell? Or okay, so the or
So you are no longer
in that-
groveling. That's what I'm saying.
oh, okay, yeah. In that case, yes, I will continue attacking. I guess just kind of depends if it's like a initiative turn thing or how's it going down.
That is a good question. Like, do we have an
Yeah.
opportunity to respond to this?
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll just go to an old like encounter and then just have you guys roll initiative.
Although that is an important question, Theo. Who in the place between places bet on groveling?
Oh, Rule for sure. Not
Nah,
even
he
a
was
fucking
running the
contest
bets.
on that.
Rule was running the bets. So you have the goblin, you have Sebastian, and you have Edix. Which of them chose groveling?
Harm definitely bet on groveling.
There you go. He wins whatever everyone else bet. Rule tries to pocket a couple, but his hands just go through them.
Yeah, kind of
A
awkward.
little bit pissed off.
All right, everyone, roll me initiative and tell me your initiative. Braden. Go.
2. Yes, 2.
Oh my god.
Good.
Dirty 20.
Also dirty 20.
Nice.
Hey, the homies.
Let's stop this madman.
I don't want
I'm
to
a
hurt
little
the
sad
cat.
you didn't draw the line, to be fair.
Donson, what did you get?
Oh, I wasn't gonna do anything, but I guess I'll roll initiative anyway. 3.
Okay. Well, he's not here, so. Oh my god. Okay. You're so fucking lucky she rolled low on initiative. Okay. So, Noah, it's your turn. What the fuck do you do?
Okay. After getting pushed back and seeing the slash, seeing him get back from the groveling and reach for his polearm again, I'm gonna try and just jump on him and grapple him in place. I know I probably can't. This dude is 4 times my size, but I'm
To
gonna
say
fucking
the
try.
least, yeah.
That's
I
a
believe.
strength check, right?
God, you had to just roll a nat 20, didn't
Could
you?
I argue maybe disadvantage for Braden because he has been kind of held prisoner for a couple of days without any kind of food or anything?
You would have a level of exhaustion, I suppose.
Okay.
But
That's
don't
fair.
I also have a level of
Yeah.
exhaustion?
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's right.
So just
I
neutral roll. They cancel out.
have a -1. Oh wait, how do I?
Well, Braden rolled a 12.
Yep.
Okay.
A 12 and a 15, so taking the 12.
I rolled a 4, so
No.
He just like picks you up and like if you try to grapple me, he just kind of like grabs you with one hand and drops you off to the side.
Braden, stop it. And that'll be my turn.
Zerwa.
Yeah. Is Braden's weapon entirely on the floor? Or is he kind of still holding it?
I'm pretty sure he's in his hand, right, Braden?
It depends. Like, I'm gonna leave this up to you. When you said grovel, it kind of felt like there was some kind of spell that went off. So I'm gonna leave that.
Command.
I'm gonna, yeah, like I'll leave that interpretation up to you. I'd say even if the glaive was on the floor, Braden does still have a knife, a spear, and some javelins
I
like
would say
slung over his back.
that if you had gotten back up on the floor with the intention of fight, you definitely would have grabbed your spear.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's a very fair interpretation.
All right.
Man, you just had to roll a fucking nat 20, didn't you? God damn it, Brayden.
That checks. Okay. I am going to, seeing, I assume, Noah saying stop and that not necessarily having like a perceptible effect, I'm going to cast command and say stop, which is going to be a wisdom 14 save.
We'll roll it.
Oh, 12.
Oh shit. Okay. So, however you interpret that, as the previous command seemed to have a non-thing.
Okay.
But yeah, just
So,
stop.
I'm sorry, Brayden.
In the process, sorry, I'm also gonna run up and like put a hand on his arm.
Brayden, I need you to roll me 5d10. I'm gonna let you roll it. Use Discord.
I'll use Discord. Okay.
Yep.
Let me just change this up. We've got a channel for this, don't we? Roll HH6. Is it slash roll?
No, it's
slash
exclamation point,
yep.
R space, and then the dice.
5d10. Okay.
I'm sorry if this is doing what I think it's doing. But...
You lucky fuck.
Holy shit, that's a low
Oh my
roll.
god.
You lucky 4-2-4-2-2. You lucky fuck. You take 14 psychic damage.
All right. Shrug that shit off.
So you just get hit with a psychic lance.
All right.
You feel the hold of the spell for the day slightly differ. You still feel compelled, but you know that it won't result in any more implications for the rest of the day if you refuse.
Okay.
But it's how you choose how your character would react to the spell. You know what it said. So.
Yep.
Okay. Well. 1 second.
Whose turn was it? Sorry.
Hold
Was it
on.
Braden's?
It's
Oh, yeah.
It's Olivia's.
Okay.
All right. So she waves a paw and a giant translucent hand appears. And it tries to grab you. So what I need you to do is I need you to roll a contesting grapple check.
With disadvantage?
No, it just has advantage. Unless you would have advantage from exhaustion. I don't know if you would.
I think it's ability checks
exhaustion.
for forward.
Yeah. I'll roll two.
You have to be at a 23.
Okay. Well, the first roll was a 16 anyway, so.
Okay. You are grappled by the hand.
Okay.
So you take 12 bludgeoning damage as it brings you to the ground.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Donson.
He's gonna look over at the bartender, just be like, "Can I get something to drink?" That's his turn.
My man.
Oh my god.
He doesn't know what's going on.
He
so
pulls
he's
out
just gonna be like,
he pulls out a glass. He pulls out like a stiff whiskey and starts to pour.
but before he pours it, he's gonna go non-alcoholic.
He pulls out ginger ale, disappointingly.
Thank you.
Belinda currently raises her hand and says, I want some.
Donson looks over. She can have that drink. Meaning the whiskey.
If Braden wasn't currently tied down by a hand, I feel like he would have words to say about that. Or especially, a certain pink belt.
Listen, he poured a little bit into the glass. She can finish the glass, so that way it doesn't go to waste.
Jesus Christ.
She could get a couple of drops.
Yeah, more like a couple of fingers of fucking fucking alcohol. Be specifically clear. Braden.
Yep.
You're up.
Okay, so there's obviously like a lot of moving parts here, with like different commands going off and different like restrictions and things. So I kind of need your help as a
Okay.
DM in like what the kind of hierarchy is like, because Braden obviously has the very strict instructions to do something, but he also has instructions
It
to
is the
stop.
effect of the Gaius spell. I sent you the spell.
Yep. Yeah, no, I've read it. I know it, but there's obviously other spells that are going on around that
Yes.
as well.
And there is a command to stop. The stop spell triggered the Gaius damage. So the Gaius damage is done for the day.
Okay.
So you complied immediately with the stop, and then
Mhm,
before
okay,
you could do anything else, you get crushed by the hand. So right now, the only thing affecting you really is the hand.
Okay, gotcha. Because I know it does say you can end the spell with remove curse, greater restoration, or wish. It does have some specifications there, but if it's stopped, that's all good. I think Braden is going to like open his grip on the glaive, probably like letting it fall to the ground. He's going to draw a deep breath in, and he's going to kind of just say, "Yield, it's past." And that's going to be Braden's turn. He's not going to resist the grip or anything like that. He's just going to say that out loud. And that's Braden's turn.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do we roll deception? Okay.
Do you need to roll deception?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do
find
you
out.
mean it?
No, I do.
Okay. Noah.
Good. I'm going to stand back up, kind of clutching dagger at my belt. Just kind of say, he's pinned right now by the hand, right? Or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just looking at him, kind of having the dagger almost at the ready, like maybe he has to fight. Be like, what do you mean? What's past? Are you okay? And I think that's gonna be it, seeing as he's not currently able to threaten anybody.
All right,
So that will
Zara.
be my turn.
Okay. So keeping like a hand on his arm as much as I can while this hand is like grabbing him. I think I'm just gonna stand there and say, hey, listen, I don't know what that was. I know it's been a hard few days. It's safe here. It's just a cat. That's it.
Zara, make me a wisdom save.
I said just a cat and made her mad, didn't I? 7.
The command is praise me.
Yes.
I always do. I always do.
You hear a feline voice say, "If your temper tantrum is done, I will let you up." So at this point, we can resolve initiative. So.
Yeah. I think Braden's going to just kind of chuckle and say, "No tantrum."
The hand disappears.
Braden's just going to kind of stay on the ground. He's not gonna move to get up. He'll kind of probably like shuffle himself, kind of like lay down on the floor, kind of like peering up to the others. Kind of draw a heavy sigh, and he'll kind of say one word. He'll just kind of say, "Fizzle fuck."
She squints her eyes. I see.
Another a nat 20, Theo.
No fucking way. A nat 20, it said 19.
Nat 20, but -1 intelligence.
Oh shit, okay. Alright. I need to bring you to a small call for real quick.
Ooh.
Ooh, fun.
Alright.
20s today.
I need
Yeah.
to mute the thing real quick.
Never mind.
You're back.
Alright.
What's going on, guys? what you doing?
Okay. It's up to Brayden to say anything or not. It's up to him.
I think Brayden just kind of turns to Zorua and kind of like raises his hand and does the similar kind of 2-fingered salute. He says, "Knew I could count on you, Captain."
You just get a little smile.
I just love the image of you just nonchalantly, just full on swinging, just completely, just just without giving a fuck.
Yeah, that's invisible. No fuck. I thought about doing the oath of vengeance on a little cat as well. In hindsight, I probably should have, but yeah. So I think Brayden's gonna kind of still laying down on the floor and he's gonna kind of look towards Olivia. He's gonna kind of say, a halo is an odd choice for a cat.
Another illusionary hand slams you to the ground.
Let him go, please.
The cat sighs and then proceeds to clean herself. And it walks off, knocking several cups off the shelf while the hand disappears.
I think Brayden's gonna kind of slowly pick himself up, shaking his head. He's just gonna say,
That was 8 bludgeoning damage, by the way.
Brayden's on 2 hit points.
Jesus.
Exactly where he wants to be. Yeah, I think Brayden's gonna slowly kind of rise up to his feet and turn towards the others and just kind of hold his hands up and will say, I can explain. It was the third day in the tower. Fizzlebang showed up. He offered a way out. Part of the cost was he cast a spell. I can't really describe it. It was some compulsion to do that. I don't know if it's past. I don't know if it's going to come back. I don't know if there's more to it. I just don't know. I had to get out of there.
So we just need to keep you away from her for now.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can do that for the most part. Are you okay? Like, this isn't messing with your head outside of that, is it?
No, I don't think so. Just kind of tired. Just want answers, to be honest. There wasn't a single person there that came and spoke to me while I was there for the few days. They just put me in a room and kept me there. I don't know, were they trying to keep me away from something? I don't really understand.
Why would they keep you? What did they need you for or want you for?
I was on the bird. They put a net around the bird that took me to the tower. They didn't say anything to me.
Wisdom save.
12.
You see an image in your mind of someone coming to your cell, but you know that wasn't true. Except, maybe it was. You remember a spell being cast. You don't know how long you were there. Not really. And you don't know what you did or what you said.
Braden kind of like, as he says it, kind of like squints his eyes and kind of brings a finger to his temple, kind of rubbing, and says, maybe there was someone. Maybe we did speak. I don't know.
I'm gonna tighten my grip a little bit, just on his forearm.
He just kind of shrugs. And he'll probably just like peer up towards you, and just like, I don't know.
Is Braden short?
He's on the
No,
floor.
he's still on the floor. He hasn't moved to stand
Oh,
up.
okay, fair enough. So I was like, wait a minute. Just imagine Braden being like a super short dude all of a sudden.
Little short king, yeah. Yeah, so he kind of just peers up and just like, I don't know. He kind of just starts repeating that over and over again.
Noah just kind of gives him kind of a weak smile. Says, "Well, I'm glad you're back."
Yeah. And he kind of like trying to shift the tone to something a little bit more jovial. I think Braden kind of slowly rises up to his feet, and he kind of says, "Well, all I do know, and all I can say is, Olivia's lucky I tried that after 3 days at the tower. It wouldn't have ended so well for her." He kind of shoots a kind of side smirk and gives a shrug. Let's get some rest.
That's some dangerous levels of copium there, bud.
I'm under no disillusion how that would go down in favor of the cat.
Oh,
Absolutely
I mean for like Braden, you know, he's
oh, no, he's fully aware. He's just trying to make light of a serious situation.
Noah looks at Braden kind of seriously after that and says, "Well, maybe to be safe, we shouldn't give you any food for a while." And then you see a slight grin and crack across his face.
He smirks and says, "It might be compulsion for the cat. It might be compulsion for the cat, but if you don't, I might have to turn my attention towards someone else."
No, we'll get you some food. We'll get you some food.
You hear another belly rumble, much louder and larger. The bird looks at you.
And what the hell are we gonna do with this bird? He just kind of shakes his head. He says, "When I got up around Olivia, I saw a halo, a golden light around her."
I don't think any of us have seen a halo, right? Or have we?
Correct.
Okay. Halo? I didn't see anything like that. Though, to be fair, I didn't really see her this time at all. But
I might just be a bit delirious. I mean, I don't even really remember the last couple of days, but that was very clear to me.
There is like a window that appears in the wall, like above the table where Belinda is, and like sunlight starts to shine through it, and you just see Olivia start to like stretch and then lay out in the sunlight.
is she visible at this point?
Yep.
Okay.
And we don't see like a halo on her or anything.
Nope.
Do you still see the halo?
I think Braden's kind of averting his gaze away from Olivia, and he'll kind of like chance a curious peek back over towards her.
She has one.
I think Braden just nods. She definitely does.
Weird.
Clear as day.
I wonder if
Or if
that's
it's
also because of
An
the
effect
spell.
of the spell, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we finished each other's sandwiches right there.
Please stop talking about food.
We're getting you some food, man. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And I'll even like whatever I get, I'll give him some of mine too. Make sure to eat it all.
Hey, you don't have to tell me twice. I think Braden will definitely kind of take some of his plates and offer it up to the bird as well. Just kind of say, because I was there for I think a couple of days. I don't know. He was my company. We just kind of played ball many hours a day. I don't know.
Well,
The bird is currently moving around. It looks into a room, and it's like a mouth opens. You can almost see a sparkle in its eye, and it rushes in. Do you go look what's in
one
the
more for
room?
the.
Looks like your new friend found something.
Yeah, something good, I'm sure. He kind of like winces and stands up slowly and kind of approaches towards it, left hand outstretched. What
I'm
is it,
gonna-
bud?
Sorry.
Through that door is the top of a mountain plateau, and there are meat from hooks hanging everywhere.
Just for clarity, I'm following Brayden.
Gotcha. That's what you see
I
inside that
will
room.
as well.
Yeah, I think Braden will kind of take a step through, just kind of give it a look. You mentioned there was something kind of shiny within the bird's mouth. Does it look like I imagine it's just grabbed some of the meat in a hook. Just going for a closer inspection
What
to
I'm
confirm
saying
that.
is in that room, it is at the
Mhm.
top of a mountain plateau, and there are meat hooks everywhere, with
Oh, okay.
sausages and hams and various meat.
Yeah, I think Braden definitely goes towards that. He'll kind of gesture towards the bird and tilt his head and try to kind of call it along, or guide it along. Come on, bud. Get some food in you as well, yeah. Surprised you didn't eat me up there.
It is currently stuffing its face.
Yeah.
It's pulling on a meat hook and getting like a links of sausages and like a clown balloon, like a clown string, you know what I mean? It's never ending.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think Braden's probably just gonna sit down, outside on this kind of plateau area and just kind of enjoy the fresh air, not taking it for granted, and not really up to anything in particular. Probably appreciates being out of the building itself. I imagine it probably feels quite claustrophobic in there with everything
You
that
can
kind of
even
went down.
feel a mountain breeze.
Yeah.
Did you see the sky then, or no?
Yeah, you can see sky.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just curious.
Yeah, that's what Braden does.
If it's okay, I'll go and have a seat next to Braden. Braden, you can say no to this after everything that's happened.
I
Can
probably
I
won't.
ask you? Can I ask you a question about home?
He kind of nods and says, "The way I look at it, I'm not sure how many people might know about Whitehaven here, and if I'm gonna go down for whatever reason, well, I at least want to make sure someone knows about it. What do you want to know?"
Was Whitehaven by the sea?
He nods. It was point towards the northern side of a landmass by the name of Valen. There were 3 or 4, I guess 3 or 4, depending how you look at it, proper cities. It's a big city. It's probably the largest within Valen, one of the largest within the land. It's mostly humans. It's a place of pilgrimage. A lot of people would come and go. Maybe not as many people would live there permanently, but there definitely was a lot of people traveling. And yes, it did have a port. It wasn't the largest port by any means, but it did have a port.
Well, aside from the cult stuff, which I suppose
Mm.
we'll avoid for now, it sounds nice-ish.
It is. And I really wish I could tell you more. I was kind of hoping to get some answers myself, but you just kind of just shrug. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it before. It's a beautiful place. I grew up there, had siblings, have Brady kind of shrugs, parents, family. When I was growing up on the streets, I'd see men of faith and people clad people, silvers and armors walking through, saying gibberish. I don't know, speaking hope, helping people. People would trade coin for that, and I wanted to do that. So fuck it, I did. I learned how it all worked, and I think if you wear rose-tinted glasses for many years, you kind of stop seeing the red flags around you. I don't know. When I was younger, I had this delusion of faith of people speaking and actually making a difference, and then when I was on the flip side of it, like they taught me the hymns, the language, the other words, and didn't mean anything, didn't do anything, just kind of spoke to people, and I guess their faith in us is what made a difference to them. I mean, I certainly didn't do anything.
I think she'll kind of just sit there and like appreciate the breeze and think about what's being said. After a minute or two of just quiet. From all of that, all I can think is that I'm glad you got to do what you hoped, even if it wasn't the right outcome. And maybe there's another chance to make a difference in a way that does feel like it has meaning.
I think Braden nods. He says, when I first woke up here, and honestly up until probably a couple of days ago, what I thought was happening, I thought this was hell, right? I mean, I took on the mantle and words and sigil and crest of something of faith, and I guess abused it. I made coin off it. I gave the coin back, to family. I didn't spend it on myself, but I still, abused my status and position. I didn't help people. I listened to their problems, but that's not helping people. And I think what kind of dawned on me and what made me realize that this wasn't hell. He'll kind of take his left hand and kind of put it on your shoulder and kind of give a kind of reassuring squeeze, and he says, the cat isn't the only thing with a halo. I found angels around me here as well.
What a charmer.
God damn it. All right.
To point out, Noah is in the doorframe.
Yeah.
I completely missed what was happening
Hey,
in
I
these last 5 minutes. What happened?
I think you're included in that statement.
Yeah.
You'll
What
have to
happened?
listen to
What
it.
I
No,
missed?
it's good.
Should I
dude.
leave?
You'll have to listen to it.
Damn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rule just popping up. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, yo. Yeah, so I think Braden kind of smiles and he says, but yeah, beyond that, I think you're right. I gave my word that I was going to help Belinda. It's kind of what I said when we left that place in the desert. If I'm gonna do anything, if I'm gonna make a difference, I'm not just gonna listen to issues. I'm gonna do something about it, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Speaking of Belinda, have you seen her since we got back?
I don't really want her to see me like this. And he's gonna kind of put his hand, he's gonna like take the hand off your shoulder and kind of go down towards his pouch. And he said, when I was putting that towel, I had the option. I had enough time while I was in the net to try and take one item with me, smuggle one item. First I thought a dagger, I thought a rock, a talon from the bird I was playing to, but I took this. And he'll outstretch the paper, which is the drawing that Belinda did of Braden, and like the armor with like her near, like in the picture as well. Yes. This isn't a drawing. It's I don't know. It's faith of a kid looking at someone in armor and believing in them. So I guess maybe I just need to have a bit more of a childish outlook and believe in myself as well.
Hey, Brayden,
Yeah.
this might sound like a weird question, but have you asked Belinda if she wants her sight back?
Braden kind of pauses for a moment and shakes his head.
I
No,
mean,
I haven't.
most likely she does, but
No, I haven't asked her. I mean, I told her what I wanted to do, and she didn't shout at me, so that's something.
that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you have any other questions about Whitehaven?
Specifically, just the one.
Yeah.
Not so much about Whitehaven, but the people there, the people you knew, friends, family.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
like?
good. I mean, yeah, they're just good people. There weren't many. A couple of mentors taught me how things work. Both kind of gestures towards the glaive and towards the kind of the sigil and his kind of the button of his kind of dark cloak that they taught me about most things. I had two siblings, older brother, younger sister. Um, they're all fine. They're starting their own families. Honestly, nothing devastating to report. That there were, I mean, right at the very end before I woke up here, there were some cultists, people clad in robes. And I don't really know anything about them. I had brought in a fairly sizable amount of coin for the church, as it were. And in reward, they kind of put me on a bit more of a cushy position for a couple of weeks. It's kind of like a ceremonial guard, I guess you could say, to a tomb with a bunch of relics. I was there on my first night. I showed up and the place was already kind of overrun. I rushed in and I don't really remember what happened after that.
Were your family okay before that happened?
Yeah, I can't imagine they would go anywhere near there. It's pretty far away. They kind of lived on the outskirts of Whiterun, mostly kind of capturing travelers coming into the city. They weren't in the walls itself. You can kind of tell that Braden hadn't really thought about that,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of raises an eyebrow. And they should be fine.
That's good.
I don't think there's anything targeted. It's just wrong place, wrong time.
Make me another wisdom save, Brayden.
Yep. 9.
It's murdering time.
Oh boy.
Here I go killing again. You see an image of yourself kneeling in chains. And a man in dark robes and a shadowy figure asks you, and this is happening in your mind. And you feel yourself answering questions about the place they're interested in. And they ask you, what is the road to Whitehaven?
Do I have like a recollection of what I answered with?
You do not. But this gives you the sense that one of the things they were interrogating you about is how to get there.
I think Braden kind of like squints a little bit, as if kind of like in some kind of thought. He says, "This sounds familiar. I think they were asking me about Whitehaven as well."
The cultists, the people that took you?
I think so. Yeah, there were two people in a room. I can't. I don't know. They were asking about it.
I thought you were from somewhere else. How? Why would they know or care?
I, I, I really don't know. But I'm definitely eager to find out.
Yeah.
Brandon kind of just gives a sigh and kind of like from his seated position, he probably just like lays down, just lets his gaze fall up towards the clouds in the sky, and just closes his eyes. Probably just just happy, just kind of resting.
So are we keeping the bird?
The bird. I, I, I think we should probably set the bird free.
No? Not one more for the menagerie?
Belinda is
You-
currently in the doorway with her arms crossed, and she's looking at you very angry. My bird.
I think Brayden kind of sighs and says, "I don't know. The first thing about a bird, well, other than it can fly, I guess, and that it tried to kill me when I first met it." He kind of just chuckles and says, "I don't know, something like that. I think it should be free."
She has a lot of small dogs around her feet, by the way. Like some
I'm
of them
gonna.
are no bigger than a hand.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get up and go over to her, and I'm gonna kind of kneel down in front of her, and not really. I'm not gonna meet her eyes, but I'm gonna say, "Hey, would you be able to give us tonight? We can talk tomorrow."
She says, "Okay, but my bird's staying.
Okay, we'll
It
figure
already
out the
has a
bird.
room." And she walks off, got like with holding onto the collar so forward, or she's like pulling her way into a corner. She's trying to get all of them to sit in like a certain place and stay still so she can draw them.
That's cute.
They're
Aw.
not cooperating.
I'll go kind of back to where I was and sit back down and say, "Ah, we should have shut the door. I'm sorry. I know you didn't want her to see you."
I think Brayden just kind of shrugs. He says, "Well, she can't see me. She's blind, right?" He just kind of has like a coy smirk on his face, and probably just brings his hands and crosses the fingers and kind of puts them behind his head. And when he kind of interlocks his fingers together, he kind of stops for a moment, and he kind of like whispers and says, "Where are the fingers?"
What?
What?
Like, I don't know.
When we saw Belinda walk up, did either me or Zerwa, being at the door frame, notice if she could see or not?
Zerwa saw her eye color.
Okay, and like, were eyes actually darting to things?
I am very specifically not saying anything about that though.
Okay, and did I notice it, or was it just Zerwa?
You could roll a perception, see if you can
Okay.
get what I just sent her.
17.
Her eyes were a sapphire blue-green, the color of a vibrant sea.
Okay.
Hmm.
I will also keep quiet about it though for now. Addressing Brayden. So, I know you're a little famished, both mind and body right now. But how long do you think it'll be until you're ready to get going again?
Uh, honestly, we can just start soldiering on now if that's what we want to do. Just happy to put feet to earth and get something happening, but maybe more sensible ideas when we wake up tomorrow.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind
got-
just an afternoon and evening of some normality for a little bit.
definitely at least one night, I think.
we'll
I think we could all use a night.
Agreed.
yeah.
So back into the inn, you guys overhear a goblin yelling, "How are you getting this much in the red?" The goblin is next to Donson.
What did he say?
How are you this much in the red?
I guess Donson is gonna reply, I am not the one in charge of finances.
He will pull out his cigar, and he notices something strange. His cigar stops puffing because the flame in it gets sucked into your skin, and he's like, "It's really annoying when you do that." And he relights it, and the fire goes out towards your skin again.
I have asked that you do not smoke around me.
He tries to breathe in on a cigar, and he says, "It's perfectly healthy for my kind, I think. Besides, none of us live long enough to get cancer. Not that any of us know what that means."
Sounds harmful.
That's my name. Don't wear it out. Okay, so what do you guys do? We're coming close to the end of the session, so
I don't think there's anything in particular Braden wants to do. I think he'll probably have a conversation with Belinda like in the morning or something. But I think for this, he's probably just going to spend honestly like probably just a couple of hours really just kind of laying out on the kind of outdoor kind of plateau area where he is at the moment, and maybe he might just kind of fall asleep out there for a little bit, take a bit of a nap, and I think just kind of not take for granted, being outdoors.
okay. All right. So what we'll have you do is Sebastian will lead all of you to rooms. We'll have you describe briefly what your room is, and then we'll call it.
Perfect.
And just so you guys know, your room is something that is deeply ingrained in who you are for your optimal comfort and peace.
One quick interlude to that. I think before we're like split up and led apart, I would just pull Braden aside and say, "You said don't leave you alone. Is that at all? I can stay. I can sleep on a floor."
Braden kind of draws a breath and he kind of says, I knew what would happen when I saw Olivia. I didn't tell Noah because I've seen he's on edge with some of the severity of what's been faced at the moment. I wanted to tell Lianyu first, but I think his mind's a bit distracted with everything that's happened with his sister. I don't really, in truth, I've kind of been poofing in and out with the newcomer, and I probably wouldn't trust anyone else more than yourself. That's why I asked you. Look, I don't want to impose. I don't really know what's going to happen. Maybe just bar the door. I'm sure Olivia knows what's going on and she won't make herself known or visible. Or maybe she will, so she has an excuse to beat me down.
I think we can manage that.
I'll leave it up to you.
Okay.
I don't want to impose. But
If-
just kind of...
That sounds like you. My wisdom is so fucking low, guys. Insight is shit. If you're sure.
Braden just nods.
And
Trust you for a reason, right?
one last thing.
Mhm.
I'm sorry
For
for letting them take you, for putting us in the air. I don't know. It was my idea. It was stupid.
uh, if anything, I'm the one that's sorry because I can't fly. Um, it's it's not your fault at all. It was just wrong place, wrong time, which seems to be a bit of a trend, right?
Yeah.
Besides, I think being taken and captured in its own weird way might have actually been a good thing. Yeah, it raised more questions, but I don't know. I think that I guess coming to realize more questions isn't necessarily a bad thing.
You know where their base is, at least for now.
Hmm. That we do. That we do.
All right. Well, we'll get some good rest, and tomorrow we'll do better.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
You'll give
Okay.
you'll kind of raise a hand and give the 2-finger salute. If that's all, Captain.
Give a stupid little half bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go down the list. What does your room look like, Braden?
So Braden opens the door initially, and it's basically a very simple kind of like rustic room, very similar to what you might attribute to like a bit of a barn house, or it's basically kind of like his homestead when he was growing up. It's fairly dated, fairly well worn. The room itself has like a bed, like 2 or 3 kind of like patched together kind of blankets, all kind of modeled into one. There's a small fireplace in the corner, which is kind of crudely, kind of like someone's kicked a hole in the wall and just like put some stokes and like a little bit of an exterior to it. Like, definitely isn't set up like a fireplace. I think Braden opens the door, looks at it, goes to take a step inside, and then kind of pauses, takes a step back, and closes the door. Closes his eyes and takes a deep breath and says, you know, if talking about it gave me some more memories on it, maybe he's going to kind of close his eyes and concentrate and open the door. And what I'm hoping happens is Braden opens the room and it's back to the tower he was at.
So comfy.
Mm. I think Braden is kind of like his thought process to it is, again, if he was talking about Whitehaven out loud, it sparks some memories. With that in mind, I think Braden kind of wants to go through that and see if he can kind of jog some more memories again. That's what Braden does.
Nope. It's just a place that's
Okay.
comfortable.
Yeah. I think Braden kind of closes it, takes his head and says, "Fucking magic," and just closes the door behind him.
However,
yeah.
roll me a perception check.
Yep. 15.
There is a small scale model of the tower on a desk.
I think Braden probably spends far longer than necessary kind of sitting and just looking at it.
There are little figurines of people around it, as well as you and a figurine of a little bird.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Don Sen, what does your room look like?
I think I can make this pretty quick because is someone showing him to this room?
Yep.
Who is it?
Sebastian.
Okay. So when Donson goes to his door, it's going to be like an old tent in a village. And the moment that he sees it, he closes the door and just looks over to Sebastian. You play some sick jokes.
Sebastian blinks at you.
I'll stay in the bar room. And then he's just gonna walk back.
He throws his hands in the air. Half the people, I swear, half the people don't like their room. It's not my choice. He's like talking to himself. He shakes his head while he leads Noah to his room.
Noah's room will be similar to how I described last time. 2 bunk beds, one side being kind of a little on the messier side, and the other side being kind of neat and tidy. And she'll kind of freeze at the door frame, taking it in. And after about 10-15 seconds, he'll walk to one of the beds and then to the other one, just kind of just feeling them, looking around the room, and he'll take to the bottom bunk of one of the 2 beds and try and sleep. But about 30 minutes to an hour of just tossing and turning and not really being able to find any purchase to sleep, things going through his head. He gets back up and he goes to find Sebastian. He just says, "Do you think you could just give me a blanket?"
He blinks at you. It's in your room. If you want it, it's there.
I wasn't really sure if the stuff would come out of the room, so I just thought I'd ask you. If I can, sure, I'll do that. And I'll head back in, freeze for another moment, start to take the blanket, and then put it back and go back to Sebastian. No, I would really like just a plain blanket. Sorry if I'm being difficult.
He hands you a troll-sized wash rag.
That'll do. Thank you. And I will walk past my room and head to where I think Braden's room was, or where I thought he went. And I will just sit outside the door of his room and kind of wrap myself up and fall asleep there.
Oh,
Nobody likes their room, even though it's supposed to be the most comforting place for you.
It is. For Noah, it is.
All right, Zara.
All right, so last time it had been kind of like a Harbor Inn room, but I think this time it's more of an actual cabin on a ship. And when she was sailing most recently, it was more of like a shared barracks kind of situation. But I think this is more of like a single room with a nice, actually comfortable bed instead of like a shitty hammock or like a shitty like straw kind of thing going on. Um, there's maybe like a very small window and um, like there's like a little desk with a light on it and maybe a book or something. And it's definitely something less fit for a navigator than it would be for captain's quarters. Um, and
Okay.
it just kind of gently rocks like it's on the water.
You can even hear on the water.
Yeah.
As a dog enters, a plush dog bed appears.
I love it.
Soul Forger comes up and sticks his and kind of like sniffs at the bed. It kind of like sticks his paws up and
Yeah,
tries to
buddy,
get
you
up
can
there.
come up. You can come up.
He's joined by
Are
3
the,
other dogs.
can you tell me if the girls are okay?
He
Or if they will be?
he kind of whispers and he says, "I think so."
Thanks for taking care of them.
And he's going to sneeze a little bit, and he's
Ugh.
going to like bark slowly, rhythmically, and give you bardic inspiration.
That's cute. I love it so much.
Behind your pillow, a squeaky toy appears in the shape of a bone, and he grabs it and snuggles in.
I
And
squeeze it, make it squeak a couple times.
not even using my Owlbear plush, huh? How dare you?
Really?
And toss
Oh.
that shit aside.
Damn,
God,
the gods
no.
really let you the fuck
Yeah,
down
I
on
know,
that one.
what the fuck? It's
No,
okay.
currently, Belinda's currently holding that hostage.
Oh, okay, that's better. That's better. I'm okay with that.
Clarification on the bardic inspiration. Is it what level is it, and will it last until tomorrow? Since I assume we're gonna rest.
Level 1, yes.
Okay. Got it.
All right, I think that's where we'll end the session.
Mm.
So let's go down the list. What was your favorite part, Brayden?
There's obviously a lot. It's probably, I think, maybe my favorite session so far. I think there was a lot of, I guess, individual moments that I really enjoyed. I think for me, the highlight was probably the conversation within character towards the end, mostly with Zorua, obviously with Noah as well, but just the kind of conversation at the very end. I think, I don't know. I like seeing character growth, and I think it's interesting to see how the characters have kind of come along from where we started, even just over 10 sessions. And that was probably my highlight. Without anything specific, just that entire exchange is probably my highlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully that's
you-
enough. I know it's quite vague, but hopefully that gives you
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, well, it's a lot actually. It's fairly,
Yeah.
dense session. So
I was not to toot my own horn, but particularly very, very happy about the angel comment and remark. I was very happy with that. That felt very
That was
good.
good.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
I'm
Like
I was like, fuck
unfairly
yeah.
good, actually.
I'm amazed you didn't divine sense.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying not to use them as much. I think they might have let a couple of things out of the bag, maybe potentially earlier than planned. So I'm trying not to use it as actively
No,
as
feel
much as
free,
I
dude.
was.
Feel free.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
gotcha. Yeah.
I'm never gonna kill you because of divine sense. Well, I wouldn't.
Ooh.
Sure.
All right. Well, what's your favorite part?
Skip me.
God damn.
Double it, give it to the next person.
All right. No, my favorite part.
I did really enjoy the character moments, especially towards the end there. Like Braden was saying, everyone kind of having a bit of their own thing this session. But I actually really enjoyed not so like yes, the combat, but more seeing all of our characters kind of face the situation where we're all kind of picking somewhat different options and not really cohesively being able to find a middle ground as a team, like both yes and no, and then that kind of leading to the I guess kind of little irritation with Don Sen going into the inn and that little interaction. I don't know. I liked the disagreements that we were having and how that played out. If that's weird, I don't know.
Okay. Zero.
I agree wholeheartedly with both of those answers. I would say that the most enjoyable for me is sitting down and having those conversations and getting to like do the reflection in character and that kind of stuff is feels really rewarding, I guess. And then I would also tack onto that praise Olivia.
Damn straight.
I love failing those roles. I love it.
You fucking
When
love
you
that. You love that crazy cat.
I
When
do.
you sent the message, for some reason I thought it said, I read it as Belinda, not Olivia.
Oh
And that's
no!
like that's how I read it for probably like a good half an hour after the
Oh,
fact, and then I was like, oh, okay, no, it's the cat. Okay, good. And I was okay.
that would have been super fucked up if it was Belinda. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's
fucked
what
up.
I thought it was initially. I was like, okay, well, that seems
God,
interesting.
you think I would do that to you? I mean,
Yeah.
I could have, but I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Are you ready yet, Will?
You say yours, and then I'll say mine.
All right. Man, it's hard to pick. I will say I enjoyed the because I've been messaging Donson regarding things he's been hearing, and so him having to respond out loud to it.
You guys with the fucking answers to everything. All right.
Yeah, and I think I think one of my favorite parts, straight up, was just like, fucking, of course, Braden rolls a nat 20 to see the fucking. I literally had to cast invisibility, so this specifically didn't happen, and he rolls a fucking natural 20 to fucking see it when the DC is 40.
Sorry, not sorry.
And he's just like, nah, he doesn't even fucking consider. Just straight up to like, I swing my
He's a
fucking
man on a
glaive at a
mission.
cat.
Between that and the whole Hydra going down and rolling that trying to get back up, I think it's just right place, right time. It's just story writes itself.
The dice
Yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
So
You know,
sad you didn't-
it's funny, if any of you know the old show Dragon Ball, I feel like if fucking if you had that fucking gene, dude, you'd be unstoppable as how many times you got your shit kicked in.
No, I
many
know.
times.
It's not. Yeah, it's definitely happened quite a few times. Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, I tell you what, the high point of this campaign is you finally meeting that Hydra like a level 11. You fucking you just jump in there and just draw a line on the ground again.
I hope you realize I have a whole thing planned for that line in the ground. I'm saving it in my back pocket for a good cinematic moment. I
I'm
literally
so
have I
excited.
literally have a speech written out in a notepad document. It's like dips into like different language and Celestial. I have a whole thing when I finally do it. It'll happen. I'm just waiting. Yeah.
I can't wait. That's amazing.
You're turning into me, man. Cause do you even want to fucking know how many documents I have? I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I used to do an over prepper. I'd write like 18 pages for a session. I'd have the entire session planned out. But I would just have like 2-3 branches, and I'd be pretty good at predicting what my players would do. But I started rolling the punches. Now most of it's just like I have a brief outline, and then all of that. A lot of it's just improv. But
Yeah. So you've doffed the ways of the thesis, you traitor.
man, dude, it was so like, man, writing 11 to 12 pages every fucking week. It's a lot, dude. It was a lot. And it'd be like full of paragraphs, dude, not just 1 or 2 lines here and there and doing that bullshit. Nope. Full on. writing a fucking thesis. Alright, well.
Shit, I was hoping you would forget. I think I'm running into a little bit of an issue, and it's something that I've noticed anytime I play in your campaign, is that I'll hit a character and it'll be a banger, and then the next character is kind of lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what's happening with Donson.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I don't like. He has a cool concept, but I think I'm having issues of trying to figure out how to play him, because he went from kind of like a do-gooder, kind of in those like 2 Christmas episodes, and then in this one he's kind of evolved into, I don't know,
Almost
Kratos.
a sadist. Almost.
Yeah, damn, bro. Just kill the villagers. It's cool if you got blood on their
God,
hands.
no, I
I
had
don't
some
know.
Fuck.
bones to pick about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
text RP is just gonna get spicy. But I had that vibe from you. That's why I sent you what I did. So you have an out for that character if you so decide. And we could talk more about it if you want, and what can be done regarding that out of session, and you know, so whatever, as long as you're enjoying or whatever you're playing, that's fine. And you know that you have a lot of options for things you can do, and I'd be fine in pretty much whatever you're playing.
I think on the flip side to that, if there's anything that we can do to make it more accessible or smoother for you, 'cause I obviously know that I think there's definitely clicks probably isn't the right word in the party. I think with what's happened so far in the story, the characters are very tight knit, and I think any new character stepping into it, I think will have hurdles to come through. So if we can do anything on our end as well, like yeah,
It's like you don't have to put that responsibility on yourself because I'm the one that's coming into play, not you guys coming into a campaign. So I am the one that has to do most of the work to make it work. So it's like I don't know.
I mean, I don't
I
think
agree
it puts
with
any weight on us to
yeah.
alter a little bit of how we're playing just to make sure that like the other player at the table feels like it's
Yeah,
an
of
okay
course.
experience.
Yeah,
Like, that
we want to
Yeah.
include
feels
you.
extremely basic to me.
Yeah.
So
I think
most of how I play Donson is he is very specifically like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on, like period. He's just a guy that showed up in the North Pole and has just been around this party for some reason. He doesn't have any idea of what's going on. So like all of the stuff that you
Yeah.
guys know is just completely different to how he is. Plus he's a half orc. So like most of how he is responding to stuff and how his backstory, like once you figure it out, I think some of the stuff will make sense. But it's just you gotta get there to be able to understand it, and for him to be able to understand and work with everything. Like mostly, some of the lines that I've said have been just for the irony for Theo.
I did
Because
catch
it's like,
that harm
if he-
comment. Yeah.
If he was part of the group, he wouldn't say some of the stuff because he would know. But like most of the stuff is just like verbal irony because he hasn't been a part of the group for 9 sessions.
Yeah,
with a word
yeah.
and
Plus,
backstory,
it doesn't
so-
help that like I think a lot of it has to do with the philosophy that the character has. I think Donson's very much a pragmatic guy. And like, could you, in theory, try to save the entire village? Maybe. Is it realistically possible? Probably not. Could you have saved more? Maybe. But by doing so, you would have put yourself at demonstrable risk.
It was also like why he was so aggro against the dude was because it was like from what he knew and from the knowledge that he had, it was like this village was owned by some third entity for multiple generations, probably because of the trees. And like even after what Lianyu possessed said, it was like these people aren't free, they haven't been freed, and they're under some kind of contract and they're literal cattle to this thing. So he was just like, okay, cool. Leave us alone and we'll leave you alone. And then he didn't. So he's like, okay, fuck you.
Yeah.
I think
and,
so
and like his survivalist streak, like how important his own survival is, kind of ties into like things that are about his character specifically. Like for him, it's very important that he not die.
I think like a good kind of like echoing point to that. I think when like previous session, I think like two sessions ago, when Lianyu had the whole conversation about consulting the party, saying that he has to go after his sister and he understands if we don't want to go with him. And the party was like, nah, you know, bro, we got your back. You're a homie. You're a real one. We'll go with you, ride or die. And then you have like, you know, the half walk that's like, I met you 20 minutes ago. Send it, fuck it, right? Like, I mean, I definitely agree with kind of what you're saying, where like it's hard to direct when you don't have like a tie to it. And look, I mean, I'm sure there can probably be something that maybe we can try and figure out as players. Because obviously, it shouldn't all be on you and Theo as well. But we can try and do to maybe try and rope you into it, or try and find a way that we can tie you to some characters a bit better. So
yeah, knowing what
I
know
shall
with Donson,
brainstorm.
The problem is I had an idea because I knew about your guys' character, so I had like some like because you guys know how much work I've had you put into your characters, and I expected. And you all gave me like a lot of different options, but the thing is, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to do that this time around with Uul because a lot of it had to do with his ability to join was very spotty initially, and became very sporadic, and because of
it's
like all this stuff,
very spotty.
Exactly, right. So it's kind of hard to demand that level of commitment and have that level of quality.
Don't try and play D&D.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You know,
I keep talking over you, but it's like don't play D&D and expect proper scheduling when your salary for a company that's 24/7 and you're the only supervisor that actually knows anything worth their salt.
Yeah, so it's just it's very difficult. But I mean, like him and I played together in like multiple campaigns and things like that. You know, from my perspective, like I would say Danton's like a 4th or 5th favorite character that you played. Not quite the
His
least favorite, but
concept.
almost.
Yeah, his concept I really really like, but it's like
I don't know. It's just
if
I
we're
think I think the
comparing to the rest
execution,
of what I have,
huh?
comparing to the rest of what I have, Donson is definitely iron in a gold mine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, like
So
you've had some really interesting characters, and I think like part of the thing is so much of it's ingrained in the past lore of the campaign, where there's so much there to explore and to reveal. Like it's kind of, those are really attractive options for me. But it's not my character.
Like,
It's not my. I'm not
yeah.
playing him.
And then
So
like we're in the place between places, so you can just meet one of them and learn a lot.
yeah,
And a lot of that stuff also ties in with Dodson, which also ties in with like a bunch of my other characters. Because the way that I make characters is they're related in some shape or fashion. So you can learn a lot, especially because this campaign has
Yeah.
been happening like so many different times.
yep. And the whole theme about it is often about like emerging and or merging timelines. So
And I think I have an idea for how he wants to go. I want to try and keep like that pragmatic bit. I think it was just like this session kind of I couldn't pull him in the way that I wanted to without stepping on everyone's toes. Like with the
yeah,
the whole combat thing, I think that was gonna happen regardless. So Donson was like, well fuck it, send it. And then for trying to get out, there was a ticking time bomb basically happening. So I wanted to try and have him push people to do something because he wouldn't want to sit around when there's very obviously something happening and like he can't save everyone, so save who he can. And because of the way that I tried to play him, it might have just come off as brash and take charge. So
yeah. Well, another thing too is that like you guys don't have the benefit of knowing what it is. So like you know, I did my best to communicate like through the methods that I have, the risk that you would put it out there, because I don't want you to set you guys up for failure. You know,
I will say, as like, especially like as Noah and me, it didn't come across like you were just kind of throwing caution to the wind or anything. Like I could tell that there was like you were being pragmatic. I could tell the pragmaticness. I think it's just like I'm not upset about it. I thought it was cool character choices. I actually like, kind of liked what you were doing. I think it comes into play when like that's very different to how Noah sees it. So there is a little bit of like a maybe a little bit of a tension after that, but I feel like that's something that's cool for like an RP moment that we can have like in text
we have
chat.
text RP, so
Exactly, and it gives us something to like really kind of hash out in a text RP. So I kind of like that you made those choices.
speaking of, something I want to iron out for you guys, and this is going to be one of the things I'll touch on, and the because I do plan on making, I haven't made it yet. I do plan on making a survey for some feedback on my DMing style and things that you do or don't want to see, and I want to do it in a way that's anonymous. So you guys, I mean, let's be real. I could probably figure out if I want to, but I'm not going to try to if I can avoid it. Because I want some honest, blunt feedback on what you guys are and aren't enjoying. Because I don't want you guys to feel like if it's not something you guys like, I don't want to feel like I'm doing that anyway, thinking you guys like it and you don't. And vice versa. You know, if you guys are really liking something, and you know what it is, I want to try to incorporate as much of that as I can.
I'm happy to be a loud person and not be anomalous. If you had any questions, like feel free to ask. I'll always just give a straight shot answer. So I'm totally an open book. If you ever, and sometimes like I think people hearing things from other people or having the anonymous guys to it, or hearing someone else say something can make it easier for them to voice. So I'm happy to talk about it now, later, whenever. Always down. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And the only reason this is still part of the recording is pretty much the only way people that listen to it are pretty much in our group anyway. But is a big thing is I want Leani to be able to participate in this. Hi, Leani.
Yeah.
I want him to be able to participate in this just as much. So I think those kind of conversations are really important. You know, both to grow as like a DM and for everyone to make sure everyone's having a good time. So beyond that, what do you guys want to do regarding the texture period? Because, you know, I mean, you guys knew from the original interview that that's what I wanted to do. But that being said, I don't want to feel like you guys are being forced to do it. because I understand that like if you guys don't feel it or whatever reason, I mean, we could just you don't have to do it. So I wanted to make sure that if I do set it up, because I noticed that like not many people participate or not very often, that if I do set it up, that people actually are going to use it if they want to. If they don't want to, that's fine. I'll just it is what it is.
I think giving you some insight on, at least from my perspective, I love the idea. I find different time zones make it very difficult because I find that when I get a reply or when you reply, the time window can be like 6 or 8 hours after a message is sent, and then for me, I kind of honestly like I'm just looking at the next shiny thing that's on my desk, right? So I totally fizzle out on mine. That's like totally on me. Maybe what could be an interesting way of doing it is we do like text RP, but maybe I'm not sure how feasible this would be with everyone's schedule or your schedule, but if it's like a one-on-one, maybe it's like, hey man, 24 hours after the session, like, the following day, maybe we do like a 1 or 2 hour block for text RP. That way we're both like available at the same time and we can do it back and
Yeah,
forth.
good news is, guys,
Mhm.
with the medication I'm on, and I've been on medication for a while, but I now have a CPAP machine, so my sleep schedule is a lot better. Like this is the latest
hell yeah.
I'll stay up.
Hell yeah, man.
So I've been waking up at like 8 to 9 a.m. and going to bed around 10 to 11. So which is like the most human schedule I've had literally in years. I'm not exaggerating.
Such a huge mood.
Seriously, it's the ability to. I used to sleep 12 to 13 hours a day, and I would be tired the entire day. I had incredibly extreme.
Soundboard?
I have incredibly extreme sleep apnea, so I have to. So that machines really helping me. So I'm trying to wrap this up because we're getting to 11:30, but so to let you guys know, like I'm gonna be awake throughout the day, and I'm doing my damnedest to stay like that. I used to like being able to do it at night because I had friends that were on and stuff like that. But the reality is that like it's. I'm also kind of tired to get yelled at by my fiance. She's like, "You're never on," because she wakes up at 4 in the fucking morning and goes to bed at 7 p.m. So if I'm waking up at like 6 p.m., we're never spending time together. And all that. So that's gonna be the time that I'm on. Now, that being said, to Noah and Zerwa, I don't think I have a one-on-one for you yet. Would you like one?
I would be interested in speaking to the girls.
The girls. Okay.
Yeah, the ones who know Soul4J. And yeah, kind of along those same lines, like or I guess less along those same lines actually. For me, the hang up on text RP, and I think we've talked about this before, is that it doesn't always feel like it fits in an opportune way. I like it as an opportunity to talk with NPCs. I think I've found.
Okay.
But I think that having a in-character conversation between players feels a lot more rewarding when it's like
Okay.
live and vocal.
I mean, that's a very fair. I think that's a very fair take.
Yeah. So
I
for
like
me, it would be
both,
like
but
case
if
by
that's what
case.
you
Like
prefer,
I might approach
yeah.
you and say I'm interested in doing a one-on-one RP based on this.
Yeah.
Then we could do that, but it wouldn't necessarily be like something that I can just come up with something every week because it doesn't always feel like it fits, especially if we end a session in a less of a clean place than this.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, the original reason I came up with the place between places, I didn't even have a name for it when I did it, but it was basically it entirely was to create a place to have a long rest, where we could have text RP.
Yeah.
That was a whole reason I created it. So that's one of the things I did, and as I'm guessing your imagine is the chalk that you have would be able to create a door to go there. But it's chalk, so it's limited. Keep that in mind.
Ooh.
And it's golden chalk, so it's valuable. It's basically a condensed like flakes of gold, more or less. So yeah, I can set that up. Text RP of that. Normally one-on-one text RPs, I normally do like backstory stuff of. That's one of the reasons I like so much of the idea of sealed memories is because it allows you to explore background things that you learn after the fact and allow it to change how you are currently as you're remembering them. But of
Um,
course, like that
to
doesn't
an
always fit.
addendum. Yeah, to like to add to what I was saying, if there's ever something that like you wanted to do specifically,
Mm.
I'm happy to have like you approach me about that as well. And if another player also wanted to do that, I'd be open to it. Just I guess what I want to say is that I don't want to just relegate the slower moments to text only, because I think they're just as valuable as the plot
Hmm.
moving forward or combat.
Yeah, yeah.
And honestly,
A lot of
I think
players,
they're my
you're
favorite
not the only
parts of
person
roleplay
like that.
as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I know for a
Mm.
fact that the other players, at least I know Braden said so, is they really enjoy that too. I
Same.
guess it's kind of the punishment of me pulling together so many people that really love RP, right? And don't get me wrong, sometimes as a DM it kind of sucks when like people spend 45 minutes talking to each other, but at the same time it's also rewarding in a lot of the cases. Being able to do that. And, as a DM, I could always like make things happen, but I also think it's fair for me to like chill, 'cause so much of it is determined by what I want and things like that, me set the pace and all that. So I think it's really cool that players get to experience their own version of that from time to time, especially because you guys really, really like that.
I think a good echo as well is like just the session, for example. I think 75% of us said that the little final segment of just chatting was our favorite part. And honestly, like for me, that's probably one of my highlights of just like the sessions we've had so far as well.
Okay.
But like I
I would
absolutely
agree.
understand it also.
I would say
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But
So
obviously, it's not everyone's cup of tea. And if we did it every session, there'd be only so much we can talk about. So it definitely, ebbs and flows. It's that balance.
yeah, my biggest question, one of the reasons I was going to do the survey, one of the biggest things is like whether or not you liked or you were interested in the lore drops that I was doing. Now, obviously, like, because I know that I'm still kind of stumped and trying to work on, because I wanted to work on Noah's. Um, the only thing is Noah basically wrote his own for the things that I normally did, which was their death scene. Um,
I did not realize. I thought you wanted us to do that when you said to
yeah,
write
yeah,
like
yeah,
part
yeah,
of our
yeah,
backstory.
yeah. But it's one of the things I expanded and things like that. So that's what I was planning on. But it kind of just I'm trying to figure out another way to work with Noah. So I'm kind of stumped on that what you would kind of want it to be.
Oh well, I'd love to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Beyond that, I mean, because I noticed that because I normally do the reaction things, and I obviously, everyone here has very busy schedules, with the exception of me, because I do nothing all day because I'm disabled. Haha, raise my hand. Um, Not worth it, by the way. I'd rather have a working brain and have stuff to do. Um, Personally, I don't think it's a good trade-off, Lots of free time and your brain wants you to die the entire time. I don't know if that's worth it, really. Um, but so my point being is that you guys are normally pretty busy throughout the week, and you have like set blocks, kind of like what Braden was saying, is you might have set blocks where you can actually participate and do stuff. So my main question is, because I noticed there wasn't that much reaction to like the lore drops when I was asking people if they wanted which ones they were wanting or things like that. Do you guys still want me to do them? Do you guys want me to do specific ones or not? Like that's
So
mainly my question.
I
I
love the lore drops. They're very interesting to read. Part of my struggle as a player can sometimes be there's so much lore drops that I can sometimes start to forget which parts are my character knowing things and which
Okay,
parts are
got you.
me knowing
So
things.
that's on me. I didn't clarify this. So basically, these lore drops come to you in dreams.
So we know all of them.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I guess
Oh,
I did not realize that.
Yes, I did mention it briefly, but I didn't know there's a date.
that adds
That
shit
adds
for
so
me.
much. Yeah. Oh, I like
Yeah,
lore
so
drops even more now.
so now you can kind of make sense of why when I say
Yeah.
misclouds your vision, things like there are specific reasons why I do that. The
Oh,
only
shit,
ones that
okay.
aren't like that are player specific backstory ones. Like
Okay, so
Braden.
like there
Like
was.
Braden knows his.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Noah knows his. Zorua knows hers. And things like that. So, the safest assumption you can make is if your character's in a lore drop, your character knows about it.
if
I
they're
think
in it. Okay, but
Yeah,
like situations
but
with like
even
like
if they're not, I'll say the ones so far, everyone should know about them.
all the ones so far. Okay,
Yep.
interesting. Gosh,
I think
that adds so much
for
to think about for our
yeah,
characters
no,
as well. Yeah.
definitely does. I think for me the big thing with the lore drops, I really enjoy them and like I love I'm the kind of person that'll like watch a movie and then spend like 10 hours on YouTube deep diving into the involved behind the scenes production of a movie. So like, I love like the inside the inside peek on how it all kind of works within the mechanism kind of thing. But for me, I like say you have a lore drop on the Sultan, right?
Hmm.
I think he's a very interesting character. I really want to know more about him, but the flip side to it is I possibly don't care because I know that we're probably never really going to see him, or like it feels like there's so many other things going on that I would much rather know about or read. And it could just be me being vain, but something that I might actually prefer to read because I love your writing and how it conveys is maybe even like the author-esque recap or the lore drop of a particular scene that took place in the session, writing a bit more detail, like almost kind
Okay.
of like narrating or writing something that took place that was like a fond memory that we all made together, because for me that's more tangible because like I think we've had 2 or 3 lore drops on the Sultan. Off the top of my head, I couldn't really recount anything outside of really 1 or 2 things about him. Not because it wasn't interesting, because I read it and I thought this is fucking awesome, but I don't need to hold on to that in my mind. So I just kind of yeeted it away. And that could just
Gotcha.
be me or the way that I work, but it's
Gotcha.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's fluff or fill, but it's not relevant, I think.
I
If that
think
makes
I think I get exactly what you're saying. Just because
yeah.
our characters aren't interacting with them at all, we're not hearing any news about them really. So when we get a lower drop about them, it falls out of our mind faster and easier than things that are more
Gotcha.
relevant to like what our characters are doing, right?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with like only one campaign has met him early, and it did not end
Mm.
well because of choices they made.
Okay.
That particular interaction is very volatile. Um, so this one has had a lot less because one of the things that I try to do better this time around is I wanted to make it so things that I send to individual players both make it to the recording if possible and are known by other players if possible. That's why I always encourage. I never require. I always encourage things being told. Like you notice that like things that get people that get DM'd, unless it just out some secret that they have. I try to include that. And one of the things that he used to do in other campaigns is he would whisper to people. And
Mhm.
but I didn't want to have narratively, I didn't want to have any confusion between him and this shadow creature that people thought it was the same thing, um, when it wasn't.
Mm.
So so one of the things that I did narratively is I decided to make that less of a thing because I also wanted players to everyone to be able to experience it equally, and like I used to be really bad about like because I would have like someone who had like really well fleshed out lore, and I'm lucky that everyone has that this time around. But thing is I was a lot strict with the local groups, right? And so I'd have like some players who are really really into RP, they're really really fun to play with, and they also but and then other people would have a lot less fleshed out. It's still fun to play with, but it's a lot less for me to work with. And so because I'm a writer and that's what I like doing. And so like it felt like sometimes especially that player felt that like I was favoriting other specific people on those kind of interactions. I didn't want to do that. Because I want to make sure that everyone has a chance in Spotlight. Noah has a chance in Spotlight. Zero, Braden, Lianya. I want everyone to be able to have a chance to be in the spotlight for their particular thing. And that's one of the things that like I try to do this time around is if you notice I've kind of decided areas on the map that say this region is all about this player's story and what's going on with this person, and everyone else is going to have things that happen there, but like that area is focused on that person. And so then it becomes what you guys want to do and what you feel like is most pressing, and these are all like dots on a map that you get to choose where you go when you want to interact with them, but it's all in the hands of you guys.
Yeah, I
I
mean
like that.
that
Yeah.
definitely does feel like
Mhm.
it checks to me.
Um, So, okay, so I do want to say that you guys have a few options essentially, just to give you guys a heads up what you can do next session. You guys can head to Free Harbor. Well, you could technically head anywhere. Let's be real. It's an open world, right? But please head to areas that stay within the guided lanes. So, unless you want shit made up out of the spot.
I don't know, man. I want to go to Whitehaven. Let's go right now.
I'm down.
Whatever way we need to go.
And eventually you guys are going to want to cross to the other continents, you know, because you guys, you know, I don't know if you players know that, but your characters would know of other continents. It's just they're like mythical places that.
Yeah, I thought I do remember you saying when we first started, like there's like one other big continent. I thought you said like to the north or something that is like mythological, but maybe we've heard about it. And I keep trying to think, or I keep starting to like connect that with Brayden in some way. Like maybe he is from a different world to our characters, but maybe it's just another mythological continent.
To the best of my knowledge, as far as I know about Brayden's character, it's a homebrew world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
what
the
I-
world that
yeah.
I do. My
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
I have
That's
a
kinda what I
map.
thought.
I have a map if you want to see it.
Okay.
Ooh,
Hell
yes,
yeah.
please, of course.
Okay.
But
now,
I'm
now I want to
excited.
share. Now I want to share the map for my fucking second continent.
I think you showed
Good.
it. I think it's in the
Is it?
Discord. Yeah, I vaguely remember you posting 2 maps and then saying that the
Okay.
second one was like.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Because there's a major hint, there's a major tie to a lore drop right in that map. You can see.
Okay.
Fuck it,
Yeah,
I'll post it.
Gonna have to go fishing. Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
It's in general. So it's White Hedge on the map, but it's like some
Yeah.
more reasons as to why. But that's the
Okay.
that's the setting that I do my stuff in.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
The kind of premise is the players all work for this entity or organization called the Vanguard, which are based on Corvin, the big island in the middle. Basically, the players take contracts. So basically, the 2 different land masses, Tibrin and Valen, are kind of polar opposites. Tibrin's like your Wild West frontier, primal beasts running around, and then Valen is the more sophisticated civilization. Gist of it is Valen's more or less trying to rape Tibrin for resources and growth and expansion, and Corvin, being this kind of island compound between the two, often ends up being like the middleman between them. So the players are kind of like this adventuring guild that aren't officially like police in either state, but because of the nature of the Vanguard and what they represent, which is basically trade between the 2 different like land masses, they have a lot of authority and power between them.
Mediators.
Pretty much, yeah. So the players will, like, you know, they'll have sessions where they go over to Whitehaven and do like forays or, you know, social events trying to raise fundings for the Vanguard as a guild. And they go out in the bush and the wilds hunting down a beast that's terrorizing a village out in Tibrin kind of thing. So it's good.
And
yeah.
a weird geographical question is the 2 continents, do they wrap to meet each other, or what's
No. So it's basically kind of like a snowy expanse beyond the edge of each.
Okay.
Kind of like flat world almost. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Cool.
interesting.
I like that. Is there some cool big
So
lore thing type?
yeah, so up to the very
Yeah.
north of the map is like the heavy winds that basically, if you cross a certain line, it drags ships out to open ocean, never to really be seen again, lore reason. And below is kind of a frozen expanse, and basically it's kind of like edge of the map, like flat world, basically east and west.
And then okay, gotcha. Flat Earthers unite.
Yeah,
God
gang.
damn it.
So by the way, I have reposted it. If you haven't seen it before, click the map and click open in browser, and you can zoom in and see all the details.
This is what I remember seeing. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think I saw this. I think I might have seen it like on your Reddit when I was looking around before
Yeah,
we started
I think I
playing.
did as well. I remember sitting on a bullet train trying to zoom in on my phone, trying to type my application on my phone. I'm like, I have an hour and a half on this train. Let's send this out. Let's type this bad boy up. And I'm pretty sure when I first spoke to you, I had to wake up early because I was staying at Disneyland. And I woke up early being like, hey, I'm going to Disneyland at like 45 minutes. Let's make this quick. Good times. It's an awesome map, though. I like it a lot.
It's the City of Crows, where I'm going to find out about that fucking painting. I want to know about that, man.
That was really cool.
Oh my gosh, I want to know how
notice the bottom left there, Zerwa.
Eternal Sail Prowls.
Yeah, I do sure see that.
Remember your lore drop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eternal Sam.
I do. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay,
Totally not
let
foreboding
me
at
go ahead
all.
and end the recording because this is already going on 2 hours and I have to render both of them together. And we're missing
Right.
30 minutes of content, but it was just like it was more or less just fighting. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting, retreating.
Yes.
Yeah.
The,
All right.
the
So
most
one
ideal
second.
part to lose.
Thank
for
you so
sure.
much. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.